What up, what up, what up, world? Thanks for tuning in to another wonderful episode of All In on Everything. You know, the place where you can be yourself, ain't nothing off limits.
Nothing.
We're gonna talk about sports today. You know what I mean? We got a very special guest. I'm honored to have him on the show. Brother Ousman, Mr. Ousman. You know, everybody don't succeed in the NBA, but it's so many other avenues where you can be successful. And today we have a brother who is gonna show you another way where you still doing the same thing and you still successful. So with that being said, I'm gonna kick it over to Mr. Low Key, who has, you know, a broader insight on our guest, who's coached our guests, you know, seen him from humble beginnings to see him rise into a superstar. So with that being said, what's going on, Mr. Low Key? How you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed, baby. I'm blessed, man. You know how we say, man, every day above ground is a great day, man. And like I say, today is a special day, man, because I got one of my former players, Ousman Krubally, man, and just to be able to see him come from, like, say, humble beginnings, this is a special episode, man, for all my people that don't believe in the dedication, discipline, and determination, for those people that may not be that five-star recruit. I'm telling you, man, it can be done if you work hard and have good dreams, man. But Ousman, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, Bashar. I can't complain. And you know, it's funny. So Bashar, back in the days, he
gonna put me on blast already.
No, but it's good. It's good though. He used to, I told him my name was Ousman Krubally, but he ended up saying, he told me the history. He told me, he broke it down and told me why he called me Ousman, because Ousman was a Khalifa and what he represented. And he was not just any Khalifa, he was a Khalifa of heart, a warrior, a true warrior. So that's why, you know, that's why there's no ill will, there's no mixed feelings of why he called me Ousman. You know, I take it as it's a wonderful compliment in itself. So
I appreciate that, man, because I already know your fans and everybody gonna be hitting me up in the comments. Like, how you gonna get your name wrong on the intro? And opposite, there you go, boy. Like I said, if you ain't affiliated, you don't need to ask. But he went ahead and explained that, man. Yeah. So we just gonna go on a timeline with Ousman, man. You know what I mean? Because like I say, everything don't just happen overnight, man. You know, I know humble beginnings, man. We all value family and all that. And like I said, I can remember the first time I saw Ousman and his father and his brother, man. We were all catching Martin trying to get here to the school we was at, bro.
Right.
We was running for the train, bro. You know what I mean? I'm in blue and white, bro. He in the green and yellow, man. And we getting in his father, hurry up, hurry up. So, you know, whoever got there first will hold the door and all of that, man.
Exactly.
So to see that, man, and me have my basketball career, and he's a couple of grades behind, and I left the school, graduated, and like I say, my career wasn't what I wanted it to be, man, but it happened for a reason, and that reason was for me to come back to the school years later and be able to form these relationships and these bonds with these different brothers and these different players, man. So I have no regrets on how my basketball career turned out, man. I'm very blessed and very fortunate to know these brothers and all that, man. So tell me about your fam, bro, you know, before we get up into that, man. What's up about Pops, man? How Pops doing, man?
Well, Dad is good, retired. He was working for DFAX for 20-something years and fully retired now. And he's enjoying himself. Now, my dad's from the Gambia, Banjul, the Gambia, West Africa, and my mom as well. So yeah, he's now going back and forth to the Gambia, taking care of things back home and enjoying life, and happy to be a grandfather with his grandkids. My mom, she's doing well. She's just working her plan. She's taking breaks, enjoying the kids as well and so forth. She's at peace of mind knowing that me and my brother are living our lives. We doing comfortably. Yes, exactly. And there's no worries. We have our beautiful families and so forth. So she's doing good, you know, and just doing what she needs to do.
That's good, man. Shout out to the fam, man. You know what I say? I love y'all from afar, man, because like I say, it takes a village to
You could have flushed them down the toilet.
Facts, man.
You know what I mean?
we give it to you raw, baby. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And I definitely gotta mention my older brother Abdullah Krubally. You know, a lot of people always want to know how's Abdullah. Abdullah's doing wonderful. He has a daughter and his wife. They're doing good. They living their lives overseas. So I mean, again, I wouldn't be the man I am today without him being that wonderful example. So, you know, I love my brother and we close. So that's my twin.
That's what's up, man.
So before we get all the way into it, how tall are you, man? Because you look like a tree.
You know, it's funny. It varies. I'd say between 6'6", 6'7", you know, and
6'6",
I mean, a lot of times,
Jordan, LeBron,
right, so a lot of times,
Jordan, Kobe.
I kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I look sometimes when you're thinner, you look tall, but then you be like, yo, Oos, you kind of look like I don't filled out a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm not as
slimmer back in high school.
Right.
Trust me.
Skinny as this tripod that the
Jersey had to pull his jersey up.
Exactly.
Jersey was so baggy, he had to pull the jersey up.
Hey, listen, they used to tell me, yo, put a shirt on one time, you know what I mean? You strong like Martin. And now I can really say, you know, with the work and the dedication and just the consistency, now I kind of, you know, it's showing a little bit, you know, it's showing a little bit, so.
That's what's up, man. Okay, man, what age were you when, you know, you got the ball in your hand, and who put the ball in your hand? Like, who was that person that started it off? Because I know a lot of people, once you get on that path coming, but who was like that first person? I mean, for me, it was my father, you know, like I say, watching Magic and the Lakers and Jordan. I was point guard. He told me I need to look at Magic.
Right,
but who was that person that started you off?
Well, honestly, I can say when I came to WD, I mean, I was always a kid of energy. My brother and I, we both were always active kids, running around, climbing trees, all this type of thing. So I think we really started playing organized basketball at an older age. Maybe when I came to WD, maybe
Somebody saw you and said, you tall, you need to be on that court. It wasn't like, no, oh, I'm hooping. Somebody pulled you in and said, nah. Who inspired you?
I think my dad bringing us here to WD, and WD having the sports program playing. They had basketball, they had soccer. So we didn't.
Younger, you didn't play.
No.
So you just wanted to be active. It
Yeah,
wasn't
just
like,
active.
no,
Yeah.
I'm playing basketball because I could hoop.
So she say basically nobody actually put him on that path, or did it? He just came to the school and saw that the different athletics and the peers and everybody just playing. So he kind of had that itch and love and just became naturally good at it. But then once you saw you had the basketball, it was something. So I asked you, did you play a lot of organized and AAU ball growing up through your high school career?
No. Honestly, I guess starting at that point when maybe at second grade, about 7, 8, you know, I kind of had to learn the game. Again, it was raw for me. You know, everybody always say, you know, why you so wild? You know, why you this and that? I had a lot of energy. You know, you gotta. I mean, it starts wild before it becomes smooth. Especially if you're doing something for the first time. You don't know how. You won't know how to do it. It gets rough, and then eventually, when you with some direction, some guidance, it smooths out. So it took that time. It took that period and that time. You know, starting going WD, and then you got the YMCA. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we.
Don't forget about ballers.
Yeah, ballers. No. Definitely got the ballers.
Funny story on this one, y'all. This is back when I was in my YN days still, but I was, you know, we had the tournament, you know, maybe an hour, 2 hours away and all that. And we had to rent a van and all of that. So, you know, father expected me and all the renting, but you know, back in the day, license suspended and all that. Father, he's like, you ain't got no license? All right. Nobody else drives but Ousman. Ousman the only one that drives. Man, we riding up there, daggone, got the whole squad up in there, 12, bro. And like I said, we came in third place, man. Daggone, rock the gym and all of that, man.
For sure.
Did you ever get discouraged, man, once you finally got good at it and, you know, in high school, was there ever any high points and low points going through high school? Or did you ever, like, lose confidence in your ability?
I mean, I think the discouraging part was finding individuals to try to help me get to where I was going to get to. At some point, I had pioneers, individuals that helped me, that started giving me direction. And I understood that. I had a taste of that. And, you know, I really believed in the work. I started refining my work. So then when you try to refine your work and doing the right things, and you have individuals that come along and say this and that or try to be a hurdle and don't want to invest all that time or positivity towards it, it does hurt. So, but my mom always told me, listen to me, you know, hard work doesn't go unnoticed. You know, at the end of the day, you know, Allah didn't bring you this far to drop you. And I always stood behind that. So, you know, I felt what I felt about it. It made me cry, it made me upset, but at that, knowing who I was, I knew I was gonna quit. My mom always said, a good fighter never stops fighting, never quits. So it was just one of those things where you get back up. You know, you endure it. You endure it. You don't think nothing of it, and it's bigger than that moment.
I'm a testament too in terms of getting back up, because like I say, I coached this man. We played. I want to say if it was Landmark. Game was a good game, man. And I mean,
remember that game?
Yeah, he know I'm about to put him on blast, man. I mean, we lost by 1 point, bro.
Wow.
Was it at their place?
No. Not just one free throw.
It was at their place?
Huh? Yeah, we was at their place, not at home. And they don't even got fans behind the rim where you shoot free throws, so and they just on the side, so I don't even want to hear that like some other gyms. Bro, we missed about 24 free throws, 25 as an and lost by 1 point. But this man missed like 12, 13, just going up. I'm just like, this, he's never like this. But to get to my point in terms of he fell down, bro, and everybody looking at him, bro, the man went home, didn't shower, didn't finish the homework. He went in the backyard, bro, and started shooting free throws. Dedication, man. Determined to not get back to that line and fail the team and miss those free throws again, bro.
You ain't getting better, you getting worse.
All day, every day, man.
That's all.
So like I say, you can have those moments where you get shaken, but don't stay in that moment. Know that you got to just learn from it and just put it back in that hard work, man. And that's what he did. And don't get me wrong, he didn't tell me this. This is not a story he told me. His father told me that, bro. The next day, he pulled me to the side and said, man, he was just so hurt, coach, that he let the team down, man. He walked right into the backyard and just started shooting free throws in the dark. So that's just a testament, bro. Like I say, if you want to get somewhere and you want to get through that hurdle, man, you gotta push through, man. But when you was playing and all that, when did you know that maybe I can play at that next level? I want to get to that next level. When did you know? What grade was it, or was it always in the back of your mind?
Well, I think it was more. So I met my brother, just always kind of chasing my brother. He was always 2 classes, 3 classes ahead of me, and they had a good squad. Yassine, Amir, my brother, Assad.
Yeah, but I didn't see some talent, but I'm telling you,
it was. They had a good squad, and there's some other great guys that was on that team that I didn't get a chance, that I didn't mention. But anyway, they came across a brother named Kareem Ziad. Brother Kareem Ziad is.
Yeah, I remember Kareem.
He is. He's a father figure. He's a mentor. He is one of the individuals like you and so many others who helped me refine my game, who broke the game down into a science. So he wanted to get my brother and them team and start working them out. And he didn't ask me to be a part of that team. He didn't ask me to come to workouts. So I felt, I was looking for my invite. I was from the outside looking in like, hey, like outside, like what's going on, what's happening? So he wanted their team in particular because of what they had going on and whatnot. So I said, I didn't wait for him to come and invite me. I took it upon myself, like, okay, Abdul, you going? So I joined them. So, and then started going to the YMCA up the street, the East Lake YMCA, and we was waking up 5 o'clock, be there 5 o'clock, working before school started, 5 o'clock. And I wanted to go, and that's when. So I ended up that's when we started breaking the game down, handles, everything, shooting, just change the direction, change the speed, just breaking down the game, getting to your spots. They do all this right now, but that was before any social media. So that's basically, I decided to go with Kareem Ziad, and Brother Kareem, and we started breaking my game down, and eventually I stuck with it. Yeah. I stayed with it, and he really helped, and that right there in itself, seeing how I was just like a sponge absorbing the information. He said this, I didn't challenge it for the most part. Bashar always asked him how they do
hard,
it.
Man, he wouldn't come back. It's like first favorite player you want to coach, bro.
You'll rise to the top, and every rise to the top always has obstacles. Mm-hmm. What obstacles did you have to leap over to get to success?
Well, just a matter of not being that, I work and work, but then, it's like, all right, Ous, thanks for what you've done. We're going to go with this person. Here you go. We appreciate what you've done and so forth. Maybe the acknowledgement, like, okay, you did what you did, the intangible and whatnot, but we're gonna now we're gonna go with this person instead. You know what I mean?
You had what is that word I'm looking for? You had something on your shoulder that pushed you, like, okay, y'all mother suckers think I ain't it.
Being overlooked.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not
just as good, if not better than him, but he might have some type of charisma and I'm humble and they looking at him. What pushed you over the top, like, hey, I'm that guy? You know, it was something that click in you to make you know I can really do this. I ain't just doing it just to play. I can really do this.
I think it came down to that, you know, that hard work versus talent type of thing. Yeah. And it's like that. Yeah. He might be talented. He might have started before me. He might have, which nothing against it. He might have had a different approach, and he's there, but does he have that hunger? Does he have that desire? My hunger and desire, it was limitless. I didn't put no barrier on myself. And when you, at that point, getting everything, you get comfortable and complacent. And I saw that. There was no complacency for me. I didn't have that luxury. So I had to take 2 steps prior to the first. So for me, I always just kept on, okay, I see that. I'm not mad at it. That's your path. That's okay. But at the end of the day, it's bigger. I always say it's always bigger than that situation.
So you like the little engine that could.
Right. Yeah. The people's champion. I think that's what it comes to. I was always regarded as Rocky Balboa is one of my favorite movies. Why? Because you saw a person, Rocky, get it from the bottom. No one gave him anything. He had to earn it, the Italian stallion. That's the people's champion. At the end of the day, when you look at me, I'm a reflection of the hard work of people, not somebody that was given. He earned it, you know. He ain't feeling himself. He ain't this. He ain't that. He's just an everyday, hard-working, blue-collar worker, just like you. So that was what my energy was. That was my persona. You got to continuously work, and you know, at the end of the day, I didn't run away from the work. And even if they said, "Oops, okay, I might have did it," you got more to do. Okay, I never complained about it.
Okay, so your rise to the top, was it like, I'm just playing ball just to play ball, or was it like, nah, I want to be the best at this thing?
Or how about this? Because you went from high school, no offers.
No offers.
No offers. So
hold on, no offers.
No offers. No offers.
So if y'all graduated last year, y'all ain't get no offers, and you know you can hoop. If you ain't working this summer, you still ain't gonna get no offers. So put in the work, man. So
no offers, but the man was a studious student. I don't want y'all to think this man right here just only can hoop and wasn't getting it. And so he could have went to other schools out of state and all of that, but he chose to go to Georgia State. So when you made that cultural shock from being in a smaller school to the big university and all that, but their athletic basketball program, how did you go about attacking that and tell them that journey and all that? Because I know how it went. But when you got there and all that, and you saw that opportunity, that freshman year, how did they do and how they treat you from freshman to sophomore, and how it just built up?
So, you know, we start from going from high school at that point, and again, it's true about that. I had no offers. Being around, seeing all my classmates, they get awarded their offers, and I was happy for them, you know. But I guess I didn't, you know, again, I was hoping in the individuals that were in position to help me get that exposure, you know, get the offers. But overall, it was a matter of just got to stay the course. And, you know, with no offers and seeing, you know, you put in the work, you're doing everything, you're trying to be a good kid, trying to get into trouble and so forth, and no offers, you know, it's a lost timing. So for me, it you know, you feel it, because that's what we as people, we feel, and you feel it knowing you're trying to do your best and so forth. But it was a matter of, that was a junction whether I said, am I going to let the disappointment discourage me, or am I going to let the disappointment encourage me? So I've always been, I said I'm going to let the discouragement discourage me, or the disappointment encourage me. So I found the way to, it was like shields of armor, the disappointment, the shortcomings, being overlooked, being told you're not good enough, being told that you're only this, this is all you have. That became extensions, shields of me that made me only stronger to push through all of that, push through that barrier. And I think that helped refine my mentality. So with those moments, I understood and knew, hey, it's not about proving you wrong or it's about proving myself. I always got this saying, I'm not here to prove you wrong. I'm not here to show you up and prove to you. I don't prove to you, I prove to myself that I can do it. And that was the fuel. Prove it to myself that given my circumstance, given my situation, I could still make something of it. I could still get to that moment, have what I've seen, what other people
not be the
saying.
Traditional route
But
or whatever that, but you still can get to that destination.
Create my path. So.
Did you have days of wanting to give up?
No, not at all. I mean,
Fire was burning.
It definitely was the little engine.
Yeah, fire was burning.
I always thought about it, and with all honesty and so forth, I woke up saying, all right, I'm gonna do this. Then question it, then try to take no shortcuts. Hey, if this is what you want, there's no shortcuts. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, but this is what comes with it. So that, and I embraced that. And again, I embraced the hard work. I embraced the difficulty. That was not one of those things. It was refreshing in itself. I could say that it was refreshing because I had to put the work in. Either you're gonna swim or you're gonna sink. Sink or swim. I said I wanna swim. My freshman year, they had me on the team. I remember it's crazy. I basically was on the team. We had Midnight Madness, something they always have for the beginning of the season. New players, And I came in there. No one knew about me or things like that. Everything was established. The players that were there already on the way out and the newcomers. So I didn't have no name on the back of my jersey. It was just like I came to the Midnight Madness with like everybody, blue versus white. But everybody had their stickers on the back with their names. I ain't had none. So like, yo, who's this no-name individual? I was a creative player. Like, I was a creative.
You felt something on your shoulder.
Right.
I gotta get my name on it.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, oh, you being a walk-on, you know what I mean? You're not, if y'all don't understand the walk-on, he's not a scholarship player. He's an extra player, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I'm on the same plane for. I understood that. I knew I had to work and so forth. But I'm like, can I get a name on the back of the jersey? You know what I'm saying? We there, you know what I mean? You got the student section. You got
this man come out here with an old jersey.
Right, you got the girls here and that.
I told you a story about my man who was at the gym with me.
What's that?
What college did he? He went to a high-end college. Got invited to play for the Giants. This when Bill Belichick was there. He said he was in the locker room and he seen his jersey. Man, I ain't got no name on my jersey, man. What's my name, man? He said, oh, you want a name on your jersey? All right. They cut him.
Worry about the name.
Right. So that was just more the funny thing about it. It was bigger than that. I ain't care. I'm like, I was just happy. Right.
You kept it in your head.
Right. I was just happy. I joked with my friends. I'm just happy to be out there. You know what I mean? Because everybody, because then after that, the Midnight Madness, you do what you do. You put your dunks on and stuff like that. You meet and greet. You know what I mean? I'm like, who that? I'm like, I'm just like, But it was still good in itself. So I showed out, did what I needed to do. It was just for fun. But the good thing about it, right? At the end of the day,
that night you made a name for yourself?
Right, well, still, there's no name and whatnot. But that's a transition. No name, nobody know about them. There's a story to be told. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, there's a story to be told. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna bring the opportunity to me. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, when opportunity there's no opportunity knocking at your door, you gotta do something about it.
And that's what I tell y'all YNs all the way out there. When anybody give me no opportunity, it ain't about is anybody giving you an opportunity. It's about, are you ready for the opportunity when it presents itself?
Hey, think about this. Any door you ever walked in, unless you told them already you was coming, it was closed before you knocked on it. So you gotta knock on the door to open the door.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, and that's the thing, we all want to be, that's hilarious. We all want that opportunity, but okay, are you going to go create the opportunity? Because at the end of the day, the goal is you got to make your work so valuable, because at the end of the day, people want valuable work. And at the end of the day, we could get caught up into the fact like, why ain't being seen, what's going on, why ain't getting that opportunity like this person and whatnot. But what you can control is what you put into your work, how you make your work so resourceful that people want it. So then when you do put yourself and bring that opportunity or go find the opportunity, it won't be denied. There won't be no discrepancy. It'll be undeniable where somebody can't say that worked there, that they don't want that. They don't want that product. So overall, I just knew, yeah, we got cars out here too.
It's live out here,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
Like I said, like, subscribe, share. Like I said, we out here. And WD Eastside.
Yes, sir.
WD Muhammad High, man, my alumni, man. Ousman alumni, man. We represent, man. Shout out.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You know he ain't from here.
Yeah, he ain't from here. He just came to play hooping in the gym. Paid his $3 and did it. I hope we got the $3 from him, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to it. Like I say, folks coming in, man. But back to it, man. So he did the deal, no creative player. He said he dad gonna have to put in the work.
I had to put the work. I had to
kept
create the
putting
story.
that fuel to it. So after you put that fuel, sophomore year, junior.
So freshman year, basically, I only played a total of 5 minutes my freshman year. Only total of 5 minutes, and it was the you getting blown out type of time.
Niggas with bad attitude be like, man, fuck that shit, man. I'm better.
Absolutely. You got
man.
Right. But no, not just 5 minutes, not one game.
That nigga gave it up in the 9th grade. Like, I do some max out here, bro.
So, how many college games?
Me 9th grade. I said, man, fuck basketball.
Yeah.
Niggas going to
Right.
Ain't none of them niggas going.
Right. So you basically think about it. You're talking about how many games are there in college? At least 40? More, maybe?
20-something. And then they got the tournament.
So we're talking about 20-something games. I played a total of 5 minutes out of 20-something games.
Yeah, sitting on that bench.
Sitting on the bench.
Happy to be on the team.
Just run, absorbing. So, you know, but here's the funny thing about it. What happened is now I had stand-out moments during those 5 minutes because we played against Georgia Tech. I remember like it was yesterday. I entered the game in Georgia Tech. They put me in. In that Georgia Tech game, I was able to get 1 rebound, 1 assist. I was able to, what else? I was able to do 1 steal. Okay. So I still was impactful in that short time frame. That's always
plus minus was hella good, nigga.
Right. So anybody that knows me, I've always been efficient. I found ways to be efficient during the moments I was given. So, you know, they put me in a total of 5 minutes, which is okay. You know, at the end of the day, I'm learning. I can only control what I can control. But I made the most of it. So I understood that my playing time was going to be warm-ups. So I made sure when I was out there and we warmed up when they broke it bigs and so forth, because I was in the CAA with Georgia State. So Georgia State was a small man. The bigs weren't. It was no big man league like ACC, those type of situations. So they decided to get me. I was a scholarship player.
Let me ask you this. Your stay at Georgia State, that was after they had already went to the NCAA tournament and everything, right?
Yeah, so during Lefty Giselle.
The son.
Yeah, the son they played.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, that came after. No, that came after me. Before me.
You had Lefty?
So no, Lefty Giselle was before my time.
Okay.
And that's when they made the NCAA run. So after that, I had Coach Perry my freshman year. And he was there for a very long time and so forth. So overall, you know, I was one of those individuals that just kept on. I said, you know what? They used me. They had me here. I'm a scholarship player. I'm a walk-on. Happy to be here. Let me just use the moments to get better. So I just used those moments to get better. I was the hustler. You know, they might say, oh, Dennis Rodman, this and that. But I had heart, and I didn't back down. I challenged even the seniors. You know what I mean? Anybody knew me, I had explosive athleticism during my time. It was very raw. My skills were still very raw. So I was, you know, going into these practices, challenging these seniors. I didn't care who you were and whatnot. And it was not about trying to hurt you or anything like that. I was fearless. I was a fearless individual. So at the end of the day, I just made the most of, again, for the youngsters and so forth, control what you can control. I control practices, I can control that. And my playing time was gonna be the warm-ups. I understood that. So I took advantage of getting better during those moments, and I didn't have no coaching staff out here behind me putting all that effort towards me. I took the time, I watched and studied and saw what they were working on. And then when we had time for ourselves, I took that information, took those drills and worked on it on top of the information I already said. And I refined my game and got myself better and just stayed ready for when the time comes. So I only played freshman year, 5 minutes my freshman year. And going into my sophomore year, it's a business. So Coach Perry at the time, he was there for a long time. The university transitioned and went in a different direction. So then they brought in another coach named Rod Barnes. So then Rob Barnes, that's when things could have transitioned and took a different direction. But Rob Barnes said, you know what? Hey, walk-on scholarship players, you're all the same. We're gonna evaluate you. We're gonna assess you, and I'm gonna bring, every new
Shout
coach.
out to Rob Barnes, man, because that's how you supposed to do it. Put that shit on the even time field, nigga. Don't be sitting here getting this scholarship when you getting comfortable, bro. And I got a dog.
Just he the man then.
That don't mean he the man now. Like you said, we don't want dogs that's getting fed, bro. We want hungry dogs that ain't got food in the refrigerator, because that way they know they got to always go out there and eat it, bro. Not no dog that's just giving it to them. So shout out to Mr. Barnes for that one, man, for creating that opportunity, man.
So from that situation, he decided to, when the coach come, they bring their own players. So he had that spring year to, recruit with his coaching staff and bring their different players in. So at the time, he assessed us, he sat us, brought us in, had a meeting with us and whatnot, and told us what's going to happen and so forth. So he brought me there, and I basically did what I needed to do to stay on the team. So we go into sophomore year and so forth. But again, I'm still a walk-on. So at the end of the day, when you're a walk-on, you assess differently. You don't get the benefit of doubt. You get very little margin to make an error.
Yeah, so the odds are still against him, bro. Okay. Odds still against him. He's still pushing.
So let's go. Sophomore year hit.
So sophomore year hit, and obviously we got the seniors done, and now you got the juniors, now seniors and so forth. So we moving, and obviously he started bringing his guys in. Oh, we had the juniors that became the seniors. I knew some of those guys, and I became good friends with them. So we had we that year, his first year in as head coach, we were solid. We did. I got a chance to improve play more than 5 minutes, and I was impactful during that year as well. And there were spurts. I still had to. I had to earn those minutes.
You were still wet, still red. You know what I mean? You didn't really get out there, so it was still new. It's like being at Six Flags or something for the first time. Yeah, bench, but now I'm actually on the floor.
So now, undersized. So it was, like I said, the CAA was an undersized league. We playing against George Mason, VCU, Old Dominion, William and Mary, those kind of guys. So playing against guys like Eric Maynard, Larry Sanders. You know what I mean? We end up.
Played against, I remember Eric Maynard was nasty.
Eric Maynard and Larry Sanders.
He ended up going to the league.
Yeah, he went to the league. Him and Larry Sanders. That tandem, the two of them.
Smooth. Eric Maynard was smooth.
Yeah, for sure. And George Mason, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we had some. The CAA wasn't no cakewalk, you know what I mean?
No. There's some talent in it because VCU went up.
Yeah, George Mason made the little
Eric Maynard and them boys.
George Mason had that little Cinderella run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for us, at that time, so it was a junction. Again, Bashara, KZ, they tried to help me. Always told me, hey, Ous, you 6'6", 6'7". That's Michael Jordan and them. How you got to refine your game. That's a guard. Can't look at it like a big, you a guard. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Coach Barnes and them, I was a scholarship player. So at the end of the day, when you're a scholarship player, you're not in it. I wasn't a scholarship player, I was a walk-on. You're not in an investment. So at the end of the day, it was more I was a utility in a sense. So they decided, my shot wasn't the best at that time. I'm still refining my game, trying to smooth it out and so forth. But I worked and so forth. So they put me in as a big. Small forward, I was a big. So they separated, they made that distinction. I still worked on my game and worked on my fundamentals, but I was a big. So that's where I started learning the post game. We worked on some things with Bashar and so forth and whatnot, but that's when I started working out of the post. Because again, the CAA was an undersized league. So the biggest we saw some 7-footers whatnot, but everything 6'7", 6'8", mobile and whatnot. So they gave me, Georgia State with this coaching staff, they helped me to develop a post game. So, I was working out the post and things of that sort. And again, the playing time was very limited. Again, I made the most of the practices and the warm-ups was my highlights. You know what I mean? I just stayed ready to be called upon this and that. And surely or not, the seasons were long and, you got guys that get injured and whatnot. I just stayed ready, stayed the course.
Always
locked in and so forth. And then there was moments when I played in that sophomore year. And I think, if I can't recall, I think I had some game winners in the sophomore year and whatnot from a layup. I remember like Northeastern off the sideline. We playing and so forth, and we playing at their home. They were highly ranked in our league at the time in the CAA. So I remember like yesterday we drew a play and whatnot, and then I was, they threw the ball into your boy. I caught it, and it was one. You remember that game when we was in high school? I forget who was. I wasn't supposed to play that game.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to play that game because I was battling. I had surgery my senior year, and I
wanted to play love for the game.
I wasn't supposed to play in that game. And we ended up, I missed maybe all of the game, majority of the game, and so forth. Somehow, I ended up playing in the game the last 2 minutes and so forth.
Baby.
And we ended up winning the game. The play we had to play and whatnot, and I'm helping us win the game and so forth. But going to that game against Northeastern, we get a ball, they throw it. My boy Dante Curry inbound the ball to me. I catch it underneath the rim, a couple of seconds, put it up there. We win the game, you know what I mean? And it was one of those standout moments. Again, being efficient. So,
Staying ready.
But the biggest thing, again, I had to overcome the hurdles. And this is what I'm going to say is not nothing against what happened and so forth. It was just a circumstance of the situation. Being told that I wasn't maybe good enough, being in that environment and so forth. I'm not this, Oust, you this, you can't do this. Yeah, you talk about this and that. But myself.
You had went through that already in high school somewhat.
Right.
So it was already
nothing new.
Preparation. And my thing is
preparation.
you can't cave in to things like that when people tell you that, bro. Because you always got to have that self-belief in yourself.
Right.
You belief in the Creator, and then have that belief that He say, verily man gets what he strives for. This is a living testament right here. It may not happen overnight. It may not be on that same timeline that you see other people who are there and all that. But if you continue to strive and work for it and have that dedication and discipline for it, bro, it can happen, bro. So like I said, it's went from moments to playing 5 minutes in the freshman year to having a game winner sophomore year. Like you said, creative player all the way up to that now.
Bro, you forgetting 1 point.
What?
At one point, he ain't have his name.
He ain't have a jersey. No name on the jersey.
No name on the jersey. The hitting game winner.
Game winner.
So,
junior and senior, what you doing, bro?
Right.
What is it, junior, senior? I know it's like, okay, I'm ready to pop.
Right.
Yeah.
But I start, and again, going back to what I said, taking steps prior to the first. So I started looking and think, okay, my freshman year, and then again, it's the mentality. My freshman year, I started saying, okay, I'm not a freshman, or I'm going to my sophomore year, but I got to start thinking like a senior. I got to start thinking like my sophomore year, looking ahead, because a lot of times we wait, we get to that moment and say, I'm ready to start changing now. I'm ready to start. It's too late by then. It's too late by then. The preparation is everything. So for me, at the end of the day, I start creating this story. Like, we had our fan base and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I didn't need to be on. Before I get to that point, again, I had individuals in that situation, doing them circumstances, saying I couldn't, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not being told that. But it was just like water, just falling right off. You know what I'm saying? It's just like water. Don't do anything, dries right off. So for me, and then I had people in my corner too during that time period saying, Oust, you just got to stay positive, keep working, do what you got to do.
That's important, man. Importance of having a team.
Shout out to Scepter Brownlee for that. Coach Brownlee, he was one of those individuals that was just a positive. He was just a positive person in my corner. On the staff, just saying, Oust, you got it. Just stay with it. Just stay with it. Keep going.
They say all you need is one person to give you that true support to make it.
Or spark that idea, or give you that one little push, man. And like
shout out to everybody who
absolutely
infused this guy.
So I just and it broke me. It's normal. We humans, we emotional and so forth. So to hear those type of things, again, you're trying to do the best you can. You're not trying to do nothing wrong. You trying to be a good individual. Try to go to school, listen and so forth. And then you have these things coming at you for no reason whatsoever. Like you didn't do anything about it. But that's society. That's life. And then you're gonna meet adversity. No matter, you can do everything you can, not even try to look for it. But that's just what it is. We project our insecurities. That's what it was. And then if you take it from high school, from now and then, it was just somebody projecting their insecurity onto me about what they think I can't do and whatnot. And I didn't allow that insecurity to make me feel some kind of way. I said, at the end of the day, that's how you feel, which is okay. That might be your honesty.
Your own opinion.
That's your honesty and whatnot, but that doesn't define me. And I understood that. That don't define me. At the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. It's your opinion. I accept it for what it is, but it's not my truth. It's not my future. It's not my outcome. Allah only controls, God controls what I can do, what I do. So I made that decision, and at the end of the day, it got to the point where I started getting better and better, because with basketball, we got all these buckets and whatever, and you need that, but it's about being a game changer, and that's what I had that game changer effect. that game changer effect. So it's a business because you're there. You need to win. So at the end of the day, you could remove. I was that equation. I was that variable that you needed to help us win games. Who did the little things, the intangibles that wasn't shown on the stat sheet. So at the end of the day, I had that game changer effect. They brought in their players and so forth, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah. And key to your other players out there, see, everybody ain't got to score the basketball. You got to find a role, find that niche,
You're being efficient and helping the team.
embrace it where you're helping the team, man, and bruh, run with it. Because like I say, everybody that's scoring 30, 40 points in high school and college, bruh, y'all not gonna do that in the NBA or overseas and all that. You're gonna have to find another niche.
Opportunity to shoot the
Yeah.
ball.
So he found that niche that anytime I'm gonna get up in there or that opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna make sure it's impactful. So they're gonna leave a memory or they're gonna remember like back when he went to the high school things in summer camp at Georgia State. It started there. So he always, every time I got on there from the no jersey, no name, and all of that, each moment and all that. So it's just like gradually, if you see, it's just like the ladder is climbing. Nothing was given. Nothing was handed. Everything was earned and stripped and hard work to get to where he was trying to get to and all of that, man. So I know all the politics and the jumping. So I know junior and senior year, because that's when it came.
I want to know the breakthrough.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when it was like, oh, because that's when I was like, yeah, dominating down there.
When people in the bleachers and everybody's like, hey, who was that dude? Who was that guy?
So we talking, we go to sophomore year, he's still dealing with it and everything, but it started coming to the point where it's a business. You start, guys buying, you start looking at the team, if guys buying into the philosophy of, it's about winning. So, you got that in sports, whether guys all in or not and so forth. And so forth, you could go one direction. I've always been an individual of positivity. That's always been my thing, just being positive, trying to have character. Look at if we all down, if we all down and thinking the worst, how we gonna bring ourselves up? So I chose that. I'm not all just about, rainbows and this and that and everything, but at the end of the day, if there's no hope in life, if everything's dark, what's gonna drive you out of that darkness? It ain't gonna be getting down and that hope, that positivity, that belief. That's what's going to drive you out of darkness. So that was always the situation. So that was always the situation for me. So going into sophomore year, we had the season we had and so forth, and we did what we could and so forth. But going into your junior year now, still no scholarship. So obviously, Coach Barnes, his staff came in first time, so it's a different. You have to go. No one just going to give you a scholarship. He has to see. You have to go through it. You have to earn it. You have to prove. So you go into your junior. So I understood that and everything, but it started getting to the point where I started shifting everything now to the point where you got scholarship players and you have me as a walk-on and another walk-on and whatnot. I didn't need no scholarship. Hey, we had to play this guy. We had to give him what he wanted. It was undeniable. His work, what he did, it showed. It helped us win.
And fun fact, once again, like I say, if he wasn't a student athlete, he wouldn't have been able to keep this up as long.
Yeah, so use your brain too.
Yeah, because like I say, the talent and the athleticism and the body go, but your mind can still go as you work it and all of that, man.
Yeah,
so
because if he wasn't doing this thing in the books,
he wouldn't have been able to keep playing.
Right,
been able to keep trying out, man.
Right.
So I didn't mean to stop you on that one.
No, it's good. You got it, definitely. You definitely have to. And again, I always been observant. I always been observant. Try to keep that humility going. We all have our confidence and so forth, and university, my studies, it was a struggle. I took some courses and whatnot and things like that, and I had no problem. I have no reason, I have nothing to hide. I lost my hope, you know what I mean? I ended up losing my hope. I got myself took classes probably. I advised myself in a sense, maybe I should have had an academic advisor or something like that. I did, but I ended up taking courses I thought I could handle, and then being a student, athlete at the same time, it was a lot. It was a lot on the plate, so it was a different transition. So you go into practices, you doing this and that, and then you got to still go to school. You got to go to your classes and stuff like that. So it was a lot to manage, and it was overwhelming a little bit for me and so forth. So I got behind in certain things, so I lost my hope. And at the end of the day, but I ended up I had grants and those type of things.
Hope, but you
lost my
didn't lose hope.
Right.
Okay.
So in the end, but I still, it was rough maybe that freshman, sophomore year, but going into my junior, senior year, my grades flourished. It went back. Again, I wasn't a bad student. I wasn't one of those that's saying, okay, I'm not trying to go to class or anything like that. It was a part of the experience. I was a worker. I had to work hard in my grades. The same drive that I had on on the field or on the floor, I had the same drive in the classroom. Maybe I did need more tutoring and so forth. It took me some time to process the information and whatnot, but I wasn't afraid of the work. I wasn't afraid of the commitment, the details, the discipline.
Can't be afraid of the work, man, if you want to be somewhere, bro.
Moving back to it all, my sophomore year, junior year, it got to the point where you had to play Ouse. You had to play him because now it's the business. We got to win. We got to win, today. And
my job,
everybody knew, my teammates knew, and the coaching staff, they understood. My teammates knew, like, yo, Ouse, why you ain't playing and whatnot? I said the detail. I said, that's something that's out of my control. I can't do nothing about it. They said, why you not playing? They didn't know. I had my conversation with the coach and so forth, and I had to be assessed and so forth, and there was reasons behind it. I had to do this. I had to meet these requirements and so forth, and they weren't met, so I couldn't play. But at the end of the day, something had to. The season was going on. It was a lot of high expectations that season going on.
The job was on the line
because of what was recruited. The players were coming in, and unfortunately, it wasn't going as planned. So, things change. So I had to be called upon.
Backup quarterback.
Right. I had to be called upon, and I had to be called upon, and at the end, of the day, staying ready, just being ready. My mom would say, "Look at hey." You got to be opportunity. Like God's going to give you that opportunity. Like we always crying. We always preaching about, man, I want this situation. Man, this ain't happening. But when that time come, are you going to be ready? My mom always said the opportunity. You got to just control. Be ready, because that time will come. Not when you ready.
It's that's like one of them little sports movies and all that. When they finally put the kid in the game, they'll never put up in there and all that. He just started there going hooping and changing the lives of everybody. Like. Man, we should have put him up in here earlier.
See the work behind.
Yeah, they ain't see the work behind. They just see this little skinny kid showing up and like, man, he probably just showing up here for a little talk on. Yeah, he can jump around and all that, but no, the man was actually putting in work, bro.
Right.
And like I say, the work's not gonna be unseen because coach can be like, no, I'm bringing my own players, but he could have still shipped you out of there. But there was something like, no, there's something there. I can't ship that out. We got to still see on this one. Everybody else, I already know. I can tell the attitude. This kid is humble. He working hard. We can see something right there. So let's keep him here and do it.
Let's talk about your attitude, because I think that played a very big part of all of your success. Because a lot of people, when they get in certain situations and it's not going their way, the attitude changes. So how was your attitude through the whole process of just being a guy, not getting a chance, still not getting a chance, but you still working hard? How was your attitude? Was you coming to practice mad when they put you in the game for 5 seconds? Did you wait for a minute to get up to go in like, man, I don't even want to go in the game?
Yeah.
How was your attitude?
Well, me and my boy Nasheed, shout out to Nasheed Sabri, we got together early in the summer and we were just talking about it. He asked me the same thing about your mentality, your thought process. I think the biggest thing was taking accountability. Taking accountability. We ain't going, we all been there. We all been there. Like, we get upset, man, fuck this shit. I can't believe that shit. Why this and that? But at the end of the day, I had to take accountability for it. Like, I could blame other people. I could blame this and that. But I just decided to say, you know what? Yeah, it's upsetting this and that. Like, man, why this and that and whatnot. But I had to take accountability for the situation. Obviously, I wasn't good enough at the moment. I wasn't good enough. You got to accept that. You got to accept that. So how do you create the opportunity? You got to put the work in. So for me, I never tricked myself. I always knew there was better people that handle better, more complete game, better shooting and whatnot. So I said, you know what?
But can they outwork him?
Right. Can they outwork me?
Can they outwork? That's the thing. That's why I say in terms of talent will soon fade, but hard work will develop into talent.
Oh, yeah.
If you continue to have hard work and just work at that
Josh
craft.
Smith had the same tangibles as LeBron.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And then didn't put no work in like he could have.
He got there and he was satisfied. He walked down the court as long as his headband was straight and looking good, he was straight.
So
I'm just saying. Shout out to Josh Smith. You played good.
Big Smooth, Jay Smooth.
Hey, you got better, bro. But you could have been on some LeBron.
Oh yeah, you could have been what they talking about Ben Simmons before he had fell off and all of that, man. You wrong, bro. Oh man, so this when they finally was giving you that shot and you winning and you having that moment, and your game is finally getting there and all of that, did you want to, or did some click that you, hey, I may not be good enough to play in the league, but I'm the perfect prototype to play overseas in terms of how the game is, in terms of the athletic build and all that. So when did that click, and when did that opportunity present itself when you're getting ready to
what made
come
you
out?
say, I could, all right, the league, this is a different tier, but I still can hoop.
Right.
I'm going to go over here and be a star.
So it comes down to going back, and then I'm going to transition back to what you said. It's about the attitude, the mentality. I think I just started refining my mentality. I think the two things I said I could control, work ethic and mentality. And then I started making them correlate. The work ethic and mentality are correlated. So I start combining them, fusing them together, and just refining them and sharpening them as much as possible. So for me, and going through those disappointments and shortcomings and not being good enough, I said, you know what? I'm gonna outwork you. I can sharpen my work. I can get better. And slowly but surely, if you look at my journey, Bashar, if everybody sees the journey, I kept on getting better and better and better and better, year by year, day by day. And that's what you couldn't deny. And the work was consistent. And there wasn't no shortcuts. There was no person. It was not a person. It's not a young man saying, "Hey, he's trying to take a shortcut." Like, okay, touch the line. Even go beyond the line that you need to touch. That's what I was about. And then say you gotta do this more. And there was no excuses. I didn't meet you with no resistance. I didn't meet nobody with resistance. This and that. You didn't. Hey, you need to do that again. Okay, say less. What you got? I embraced it. That's it. You anymore? This and that.
Don't cheat yourself.
So what happened was, that's kind of what happened, and to the point, and again, junior year, no scholarship, and mind you now, I was being told too, we in life don't go in life without purpose. So there was always a purpose for me to try to earn a scholarship. It was not me just being happy with just being there and whatnot. It was start understanding, being vigilant. Hey, I'm doing this because I would love to be a scholarship.
Because who knows that them dangling that scholarship, and he probably got it. Who knows how his attitude.
People come in and out who wasn't even as good as him.
But still had to sit there and eat that. And just know that once my opportunity do come, I'm not letting it go, but I'm gonna continue this hard work.
Right.
The work you don't see.
So, and it's crazy. I sat down with the coaching staff. I told them, I said, I had that meeting, I'm like, okay, we had the season we had, the junior year went the way it went. We're going to the senior year, you know what I mean? I'm not upset. I mean, it happened the way it happened. I'm happy that I was able to help influence and do what I need to do with the team and my teammates. We did what we needed to do. We made the most of it. But it was an underachieving season that year, nonetheless.
So going into your senior year, no scholarships available. What next?
Senior year came and we had a great summer. We gelled even more the summer. We had some intense moments, individual workouts. So it was a matter. Everybody was just feeling good right now. So going into senior year, we had more of a chip on our shoulder, and we came out with more of a passion and intensity because we knew how important this was to us seniors, and we wanted to have a good start.
When did I know you said you went about it everything as a pro, but when did you know that you had that opportunity to play overseas, and who created that opportunity, and how did that come about?
Well, going into so we went through through our senior year season, and we ended up losing in the conference round, first round, but we went out swinging. But it's funny. Now the coaching staff, because I only played 5 minutes, but going back to the beginning, freshman year, they wanted to go to the NCAA and try to put a case about maybe your eligibility, because that maybe they didn't want to. We were trying to see if that, okay, you only played a total of 5 minutes. Can we just call that a redshirt year? And try to get another year back.
Yeah.
So and the coaching staff met with me and so forth, and I was.
So we knew you wasn't no bum if the coaching staff
trying to get another year.
They trying to talk to the NCAA. Hey, hold on. We trying to get him. You only played 5 minutes.
Y'all gonna count that as a whole year?
Yeah, that's facts.
So that was the case.
Okay.
But for me, I think because it happened the way it happened, I managed to tell my story. You know, that was the biggest thing. I came to Georgia State, you know, just like everybody else, trying to figure out their own story, create their own path. And there was this level of like, I was okay because, you know, the coaching staff, I'm grateful and thankful that they considering this extra year of playing, but then it was like, I'm ready to move on. Mm-hmm. Maybe we might be a little bit too late, but I'm ready to move on right now, you know. So all things being considered, you know, they talking to it and so forth, and I might be having mixed feelings. I don't know if it does happen, how would I feel? But I understood that I was ready to just continue my journey, the next path, close this chapter up, get ready for graduation, you know. You know, it was a struggle. I mean, obviously going from freshman year into sophomore year academically, not because I was a good student, it was just more about the transition. Mm-hmm. You know, it's you on your own, you got to manage a lot, you got to practice, you got to do this. You basically a pro, and then you still got to be showing that other side, balance out the academics. So it was a lot. But then going to my junior year and senior year, I definitely was able to adjust and make that adjustment, and I saw the difference, and, you know, got on 4.0. I remember I had 4.0 semester, 3 points. So right where I was where I wanted to be.
You come from falling off hope.
So 4.0
in the clouds.
It was good to be able to, you know, show that type of resilience and get back strong in my academics. So going back to that decision, I was, you know, they end up, I remember like it was yesterday, we finally, I guess, received word from the NCAA, and they were saying that, unfortunately, you know, with the situation, you know, we can't.
That's who they is.
The NCAA, we can't. It's not strong. The case is not strong enough to give you another year of eligibility, and that was okay with me. And I remember like this. Hey, well, I appreciate y'all, you know, doing, you know, taking that time and trying to, you know, see if I could get that see if I could get another year back. But it's all right. It's all right. So
no, it's okay.
I think being at peace with that, man, that's good.
I was climbing, baby.
Yeah,
I was at peace. I had my closure, and what I'm gonna say is before going into that, before the transition to pro, that senior year, what was nice about it was there's a radio host, on the radio. His name was Dave Cohen, and Miss Alice. They were always following my story and so forth, and they helped me to kind of get the story out. So during my senior year, they reached out to me. You know, they wanted to know schools I came from and so forth, and they contacted W.D. Claire Muhammad. And I remember we had a game, and the school came out to see me, and the community and people from the community. So that was real nice. That was
support community village.
That was a great
memorable
and memories, man. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a highlight of the season for me in my senior year. But then now we transitioning, and now moving forward, going to professionally. So again, this was a tricky slope because we're done. We have you have your exit meetings. You sit down and you speak with the coaching staff, and you know, you talk about, okay, well, thank you, this and that, and all right, well, you know, coaches normally have contacts. You know what I mean? A lot of times, a lot of these coaches have contacts, maybe because they know that you might want to play pro and so forth, so they try to help you in that transition. So for me, I sat down, you know, Coach Barnes, and he, you know, I told him about. Explained to him my aspirations of playing professional. Like, do you have any contacts? You know, you play. You know a lot of coaches. You know a lot of. You have resources. Is there any way you could help me? So, you know, he passed along me this agent and so forth. But you know, that fell through. I didn't. It was like sort of like, okay, here you go. and I took it for what it was. But was I given the whole deck, or my cards were a little bit. It was not. I didn't have the best of best situation.
It's how you play the cards. Everybody dealt cards. We don't choose the cards. We dealt.
Keep it 100 on him. Get one card out the deck. Did you know it was a 3 of hearts?
Right. I did. I try to use that source, and I was given what I was given, which is okay. No ill will.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I'm not upset at it. So I followed through on the situation. Unfortunately, that agent, that potential agent, it was just more, reach out here and there, but it fell through.
Okay.
So it's kind of now, all right, what you gonna do? So I end up, again, my mind was already, like I said before, the senior year, I was prepping myself already for these situations. What would you have to do? What you need to do? So I was just resourceful, and I understood, like, okay, I contacted, maybe through him, that agent I was given, maybe I was passing along to another potential person, local agents, local Atlanta agents that have connects and professional agents. So one thing led to another. So I was going around Atlanta now, like, to the different agents and so forth. They had these pro exposure camps for you to go to, and I remember going to one. Gerald White, I think that was his name, the potential agent that I was looking to sign or considering if he could see me, and then possibly sign me under his agency and so forth. So I went out to one of those pro-am situations where they said they're going to have scouts there and things like that. They're going to have this team from this country and so forth. So we went there. And it was like one big AAU in a sense. There was a bunch of guys out there, and eventually, you just playing and so forth, and then they make a film for you and things like that. Knowing what I know now, at the end of the day, I guess people are trying and so forth, but you got to be careful about those type of situations because a lot of people, a lot of things are said that you can we have this, we have that, but to the contrary, that's not the case. I got this and that. You just playing a lot of games because a lot of individuals, you're vulnerable and you act on impulse because you really want something, so you don't know about the red flags.
Like the rap game.
You don't understand that you can't foresee the red flags that's involved. So a lot of these situations, if I know that you want to be a pro very much, at the end of the day, it's a business. So I'll tell you, listen, I am a FIBA licensed agent, and here we go. I got this camp going on. So come on out, all the individuals that need it. So you pay your fee, and you pay your fee. You show up, you go and play certain amount of games, such and such, and we're gonna make film for you, and we're gonna reach out to you, and we're gonna get back in touch with you. You're gonna have a discount.
Sound good.
So, but
I signed my. I would have signed up for that.
Especially like you say, if you really
got me
loving that dream, and you got somebody that's gonna do the work. All you gotta do is show up and hoop and pay some money
and get exposed.
Yeah,
right.
So,
paying for exposure. Got you.
So it's but then again you got to know who has that reach. Because a lot of people don't have, maybe a lot of individuals don't have that reach. They say this, they say that, but in the end, they doing. I guess you could say they're trying to do the best they can, but it's just limited in a sense. So I did that multiple times, and nothing came out of it. It's all about timing and so forth. So
but you're getting better in the process.
Still
right. So
putting in the work.
You're playing with top talent, people who think they can go to that next level.
Right. Everybody out there like you trying to become a pro, want to become a pro.
You're playing with top talent, getting better. Okay.
So technically, did that, and staying in contact with those individuals and so forth, and did went to Clayton State. Also, you meet a lot of people, you network, and end up meeting different individuals and so forth. So I'm on. So now it's a struggle, or the struggle's there, which is normal, and you're trying to figure out how to become a pro, what you need to do, trying to get representation. So that's after senior year, we're getting closer because you don't understand, okay, if you're trying to become a pro, most of the time when you're in Europe, especially you're trying to go the European route, Europe starts preseasons in August.
Way earlier.
August, they start because the season is about 10 months to a year. Okay. So you start in August, season normally going to start in October. And then run all the way to May. and then eventually playoffs and so for June, late June, July, you go far. So we getting closer more into the, I mean, like in August and so forth, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. So with me, I'm reaching out, talking to different, I went to Clayton State and had a training with a coach. He was coaching in the second division, I think. Second or third division of Germany. So, you know, I went there and so forth and stood out, and I forget the name, but he would remember, he really, you know, I spoke with him, and he really liked what he saw from me and so forth. But with him, you know, in the third division, second division, you only can have only a certain amount of Americans, 2 Americans or so. So for him, you know, he got my contact information.
So you ain't about to put no dreams.
Right.
Yeah. Anybody ain't about to put no dreams.
No, they got rules like that.
Yeah.
There's a
You
quote.
can't have 4 niggas. You can have 2.
No, not more. And in the first division, you could definitely you get more than that. You get more foreigners. The second, third, you know, for the most part, you get 2 Americans. So, and then it's the local players. So I work out with him. We exchange information and so forth. And then, but then we staying in touch. And then shout out to my man Anthony Ayrton. I met him, and we're like brothers to this day. You know what I mean? He really was. He came a part of. He became an extension of me. Was a part of the process as well. Was impressed with me as a young man and so forth. And we spoke.
Shout out to Mr. Anthony.
Yeah, so he was really helpful in that situation, and you know, just keeping me up to. Because he was good friends with the coach, so he was kind of relaying information to me, keeping me posted with those type of things. But it was so we get to that point where we're getting closer now, we're getting more into the fall. It's about late August and so forth. So the coach, he got me in touch with this agent on Facebook, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
The thing is, you got to understand, there's a lot of individuals out there, especially on the Facebook and so forth, or just in general claiming they're agents, they this, they that. But again, because it's a dream, it's a passion, and then when it's
And it came from a good reference.
right. So at the end of the day, you go off that, and of course you don't know what to expect, you don't know what to look for, because it's your first time out. When you haven't done something the first time, how do you know? You got to go through it. So the situation happened. I remember like it was just the name Igor Kakan. That was his name. He was supposed to be an agent based out in Denmark, and he was talking about. So when you have an agent, they represent you, and at the end of the day, they get their commission. But you should never have to pay. If you have an agent, you should never have to pay for anything. They take care of all those type of things. Got flights with the club. They'll speak to the club, and the clubs will fly you out, apartments, and those type of things, those miscellaneous things. So I'm speaking with Igor Khan. We're going back and forth, and come to find out, Igor Khan was just somebody who scammed me. So here you go. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to go about the right way. You got your faith and everything, and then, you know, you're not taking no shortcuts. You training, you staying ready, and then you get hit with this hurdle. You get hit with these individuals that's out there that's just trying to prey on your, you know, your excitement, because they know how bad you want it, and you're not willing to. You don't technically see all the details and know the ins and outs. So that happened. You know,
that's determination, though, man. To get flused and knocked off your path twice. When somebody take advantage of you, but you still have that drive and that determination to get there.
I love it.
I know, and you still putting in the work.
Hope, man.
Because like I said, number one,
bigger than basketball.
Because you got your trust in God, number one.
Right.
You already know what's meant for you is meant for you. And rarely man gets what he strives for. So you continue to strive, even though these people are taking advantage of you. You know, it's just a matter of time. Let me, stick to the process, man. So he got you. He scammed you. So what's next after he didn't scam you?
So that and I'm speaking to the coach and so forth, and he's like, you know, he was apologizing and this.
Oh, and that's the dude you put him on to.
Yeah, he.
So he gave you. Let's see what card he gave you out of his deck. He gave the card with the instructions on it.
right. So
get a nigga card.
Right.
Damn.
So what happened? So I get hit with that, and you know, it breaks me. You know, I remember like we just said, my mom told my mom what happened. I broke down in front of my mom, and she saw me. But my mom said, "Hey, don't cry. It's gonna be okay. You continue to execute the plan you was going to do originally." Because I had originally a plan already as far as
support system. Shout out to your mother,
mom and dad. So I already had a plan already because my brother already was in the UK. He getting his master's. So I figured, if I know I wanted to play in Europe and be a professional, I got to take myself there. The opportunity ain't gonna come find me. So
shout out to your brother who had an open door for him to come over there.
So
thanks.
So I end up, my parents helped me out financially and so forth. They just said, you really love what you're doing. You doing everything you can to try to do it the correct way. You're working for. I want to support that. So my mom, she was there, and like I said, we already now in preseason already. So we talk about late August. So I went out to the UK. My auntie, she lives out there. Auntie Maggie, she lives out in Leeds. So basically, I was just showing up as a tourist. They let you there, and with your U.S. passport, you could stay as a tourist in the UK for 6 months.
Okay.
So So I did. Like I said, I wired. With the scam, I didn't incur too much. I got sort of, when I put 2 and 2 together, I was able to kind of stop all those type of things. And, like I said, I incurred a little bit, slightly small loss, but nothing crazy. Okay. So I read that. So like I said, I went back. I was sticking to my plan. Hey, go to Europe, figure it out. You know what I mean? I was a marketing major, so let me, market myself. So we went to, took a flight to the UK, to Leeds. I was so excited. I'm out here telling them, we touched down. I remember we touched down, and they say, what's your occupation and so forth. You got to fill out the little card and so forth. And I'm telling professional basketball player, you know what I mean? You got to put that speaking in existence.
Yes.
So, for real, boy, believe it.
Yes.
But I'm out here getting myself in trouble because, you know what I'm saying, if you need a work permit. You need a work permit. You gotta have a work permit. You gotta have documentations if you're gonna come into another country saying this and the third.
Oh boy!
So I'm up here saying this and that. So they basically detained me. You know what I mean? Because I'm out here talking about a professional. And I'm like, where your papers at? So I'm like,
hoop dreams.
So it was crazy. But
my man was learning.
On the fly
all the way through, bro.
Oh man! So I ended up, contacting my brother, and he was, explaining the situation and whatnot. Just pure excitement and so forth. So they ended up clearing me through, and then I ended up going to Leeds. But I was staying with my auntie.
That's hilarious.
My brother, he was living in his apartment and so forth with his partner at the time. So I was staying with my aunt, and I had to get to it. I had to get to the regiment,
So hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running. So the regiment was this. My brother helped me find the facilities, basketball court, weight room, all the type, swimming pool, all this type of stuff. Got to do with conditioning myself. So it was almost sort of like a Rocky Balboa type of situation, right?
Sound like your brother, your agent.
Well, he was advising me and things of that. And I went and saw him, and we real close. But I kind of already understood. I went there. I was gonna, have my training. Okay, I'm gonna train these days, and then all right, they have what they call Eurobasket. Eurobasket.com. That's like the portal, the European portal,
okay,
overseas portal where you basically see all the different teams all around Europe and so forth, and all the countries in Europe, and they got their in the first division, second division. So for me, I ended up having a general email. I had my film. I had a highlight tape from my senior year and from YouTube. So I just copied and pasted the link, and I had my standard email saying, hey, my name is such and such. I came from college. I play this position. I'm currently a professional basketball player interested. Do you have any type of tryouts or things of that sort? Mind you, now I'm behind the 8 ball because preseason ain't. So all teams got their full rosters. Yeah. So the only way you got to wait for openings just in case they decide to cut somebody, and unfortunately somebody might get injured and things of that sort. So all I could do is just stay ready. So
always be ready
during that time, but the problem with me, I had I copy and paste the emails instead of the teams. So instead of doing it one by one, I like copy and paste that, and I had everybody at two, and then a comma next team from all different countries. So everybody getting the same thing.
He thirsty. He just want to play ball.
Get this man a cup or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait,
so
man.
I did get some feedback.
Send separately.
Right. I did get some feedback from some teams, but they said they had full roster of a team in the UK, in England, and so forth. So I was looking because I understood the level because the UK. It's all about football, soccer. It's a football nation, soccer nation. So for me, I didn't initially look in the UK because I'm like, all right, let me look at other places where the basketball is more stronger and more popular. And then obviously after still waiting some months now, but staying ready, I just, my auntie one time told me, hey, how about you looking in the UK? I said,
shout out to auntie.
I said, all right, definitely. And, it's funny going to the training session, again, the UK, the winters be brutal. So I'm out here, I got my Georgia State gear on and whatnot. It's like Rocky Balboa, I wake up in this thing and I got my music and whatnot, and I'm running, and then where I was living in Leeds, they had hills. So I'm out here running in the snow and I'm running these conditions and whatnot, suited and booted, but I'm getting it in, you know what I mean? It almost, you can tell me I felt like your boy Rocky out here just and among the people just.
I might say Rocky one of his favorite movies.
So it was good. And then I'm like going through it, doing it through the trenches the old fashioned way. You know what I mean? So there I do my running around maybe my 5 miles or so because for me running came relatively simple, natural for me. And then we go from there to the weight room. And then, get your swimming in. But then, the way the UK works is they do everything on the court, okay? So you talking about a nice little, you got basketball court, and they got all these lines, all these things, because they do badminton, they do this, they do that. So you got all these colors on these lines. So for me, I had to, and everything.
Basketball is what? Secondary.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I ain't thinking about it like that.
Everything I'm saying is just full authenticity. I ain't making this up. So I had to sneak into the, I had to sneak in and get it where it fit in. So, the way their rims are, it's like against the wall. It's like hooked on the back, and then you got to kind of pull it, and it locks in place. You know what I mean? So then they have multiple. They got multiple. Right. Let me go ahead. So I'm out here just, maybe I don't get 45 minutes, 30 minutes, but I got to work with what I have. So I'm in there and working on the drills.
You out sometimes?
They got me one. They came in a couple of times because they see on the cameras and whatnot. Like, hey, what you don't supposed to be here? You gotta sign. To use the court around this time. So I'm like, look, anyway, you gonna see me again. You don't know that, but you gonna see me again anyway. So that was just my routine regimen, and I took a trip to Barcelona. That's how they say Barcelona. So me and my brother.
Barcelona.
Yeah. So me and my brother, we went to Barcelona they had some days off and so forth. So it was a little quick trip, and Barcelona is they known for their basketball. They play in the ACB, and they got one of the best basketball clubs in European history. So for me, I took it as a business trip. We took around, went to the Camp Nou, all the good stuff, Sagrada Familia. We did what we had to do, but I also had my CV and resume. So this is the type of confidence I had, right? I went into Barcelona. They didn't know I was coming. You know what I mean? I didn't send no email in them letting them know. I was like, okay, let me just come on through. So I had that type of confidence to come into one of the best basketball clubs, European basketball clubs in the world, and say, hey, I'm here. Here's my information. You know what I mean? Obviously, it don't work like that. And if I get tried or seen, we'll go from there. I'm sure you won't. I wouldn't disappoint. But so I went in there, spoke to them. I had my suit and tie, professional, everything, and I handed off my information. Now my information might have not even made it to the next side. It might have been straight to the garbage. But it was okay though, because I had that type of confidence in myself, or just believed in myself and trust the process. Like you never know. It don't cost you nothing to take it don't cost nothing to take an opportunity. It don't cost anything to take a positive risk on yourself.
So I basically said,
knock on the door,
right?
Ain't nobody gonna answer.
So I went in there and I felt that confident and understood the value that I had. Just a matter of time.
Know your worth.
So I never got nothing. I never hear nothing back. So they said, okay, we'll let you know and such, but nothing materialized from that. So we came back, and again, finally, after reaching out to some teams, I got a hit. I received an email from a team in London.
Okay.
So we talking about London, big city. So it was basically saying, yeah, we like your highlight film and so forth. We would like to, invite you to London and with the team and have a little tryout. So I remember, like it was yesterday, I was thinking, okay, this ain't a tryout for me. I'm going there as if I'm on the team already. This is the moment I've been waiting for and so forth. So when they might see it as a tryout, but I'm the missing player I'm the player that you was missing.
Damn right.
So I ended up going.
Love it.
So I ended up taking the bus, 6-hour bus up to London. They accommodated me, and we had the tryout. And from that tryout, after the tryout, they was ready to sign me. So. Yeah, man. All
so
fun.
Jay.
So it was the second division, the national division. So yeah, it was a start.
Did they let you know like right after the tryout that we want you to sign, or was it like they called you later?
No, they
right after the tryout.
You was you be honest. You was in Hey, he was in that boy playing like it was the NBA Finals Game 7.
Didn't you hear what he said? I'm coming like, that's my spot.
Everybody probably was like, dude, it ain't that serious.
Yes, it is. I've been chasing this my whole life.
Hanging on the rim, everything.
So when they was doing that, bro, I
want to see that game highlights.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
I do got those highlights.
That moment, bro. When you got, man, how did that feel? And like, who was the first person you called, bro, when they saying they want to sign you, bro?
Mommy.
I believe I spoke to my mom, but I told my brother.
That's what's up.
I told my brother.
Paperwork ready, bro.
Oh, for sure.
And I reached out to my parents and told them that, all the perseverance, all the hard work paid off. I got my professional contract. So it was sort of one of those, and again, it was me being my own self-agent. It was kind of, I had to, because I had also at the time, one of my guys, Leonard Mendez, he was a upperclassman, and he graduated, and he was going through his professional career and so forth. So he told me about this agent from Germany, Marvin Betts, and so forth. But I didn't really get to talk to Marvin or be affiliated with him until a bit later. So it was kind of me being my own self-agent that did the networking and did the talking and so forth that kind of created my first professional contract.
So would you, this off the subject a little bit, but in after your basketball career, would you like being an agent?
I've seen the ins and outs of being an agent, and it's a lot. It's rough. You got a lot of individuals that say this and say that. For me, I would like to be more of, I would try to advise.
Okay.
I would like to advise because
Personally,
I don't want to
do like a pro bono for the underdog
those type of situation, or guys that don't get that chance or overlooked because
as long as they trying and they got the talent,
because they believe this or they believe that, and all this is being said about them or that you can't get it. So for me, because I know how it was and what it felt like to have to start all the way here from the bottom, and then you really have to grind it out. Like literally, I had to. It's like I tell people this. It's like you go to IKEA and how you build your home at IKEA. I literally had built my career piece by piece.
You could have gave up.
Yeah, you could have. A lot of times could have thrown in the towel, man. There's numerous times on two hands,
but you didn't.
And that's the point. And just because he was out here networking, because a lot of people are networking, but he continued to put in the hard work. Do you know he said he went months without even getting a bite, or a phone call, or an email, or a click? That's still determination and still having that faith and that belief in yourself. So you always still got to put in that work, even on both sides. So he built it to do it and all that. So London signed you.
London signed me. So from what you said, Bashar, it's like that disappointment again is so it has that impact on you. Like you're doing all this and that. Mind you, now I told you already about what I had to go through and so forth, and that discouraged you.
And it's normal. It's human nature for you to go disappointment and say, man, and you done everything you can, and you get hit with that adversity, and you're like, man, you know what? I ain't trying to feel like that again. But it was just something. It was like fuel. It was like just added fuel for me to push through. Because even during those moments where I was behind the 8 ball and most of the teams already signed players and I didn't have no team and whatnot, there was not a moment that I thought where I said, I'm not going to go and train. I'm not going to wake up and go through the regiment. And I'm going to cheat myself. I didn't think about that at all. I always looked up. I remember I always looked up every single time I work out or leaving my brother and so forth and going back to my aunt's house. I look up in the skies, just praying to Allah, just telling him it's your plan, and it's at the end of the day, I got to be patient. And I'm telling my looking at advance, man, I can see myself playing for this club or Real Madrid, because Real Madrid was one of my big teams because of their football team, and I'm playing for them in the EuroLeague, those things. So I was just putting everything out there, what I'm saying, like speaking it to fruition.
A lot of years. I know you've had a long career with it, man. But what was the breakout year and like when you became a household name and Ouz was being able to reckon with? When did you know you had to like kind of adjust your game and play a certain way in order to survive and stay at that level?
Well, 5th year 5. Okay. Basically, we started coming up with in college they called me Ousjuice, Juiceman. It was a little nickname that stuck, and I kind of went with it and took that with me. And my wife at the time, she's good at she was good at just art, and she kind of created the logo. I told her about Ousjuice, told her a little bit of the history and so forth. All right, juice, what I'm saying. So she came up with the whole logo, Ousjuice. You're gonna put the juice and then the juice drops and stuff like that. And I got something to show y'all.
Okay.
We had a whole section. This is where the marketing came in. I ended up merging. I spoke to the club when I Lignano Nights, and I ended up speaking to the club, and they managed to, and the president, they have no problem, and I found a distributor and whatnot. But we ended up combining my logo with their logo.
Okay.
And we were selling, and I was marketing shirts. I had shirts, distribution, found a distributor, somebody who could print the shirts out and so forth, digitizer who digitized the logo. She sketched the logo and so on, they digitized it, and we had a whole section. And the kids, I knew, because the kids, they look to us Americans as the NBA guys. They see us as, these local teams, they see, oh man, who's this player, what I'm saying? And they look up to us. So at the end of the day, I understood and meant a lot to them. So I ended up, saying, hey, it'd be nice to get the shirts, different themes, what I'm saying, this and that. So we had different theme shirts and so forth. So we, and I was able to make some, it was bigger than the money and whatnot, but I was able to monetize it. And it was kind of nice, had a little section. I'll show y'all this right here.
Okay. Here, let me see. Sit down and hold it up in the middle. Yeah. See what we got.
You see the quote?
Work hard, stay humble.
Motto.
Ousjuice up there. Okay, that's the little.
So you got Ousjuice right there,
Juice.
and then we came up with OJ5. So that was an extension.
Okay.
OJ5.
OJ5.
Okay.
So basically, the whole story behind the OJ5 is
Dope.
Oh yeah.
There's basically my number.
Work hard, stay humble.
And many of y'all know, most of y'all know, everybody knows, I'm that 5. But y'all know that I'm 5. You know what I mean? Ain't no.
Yeah, we gonna bring out the jersey. Hey, y'all already know, man. 5.
It ain't no other. Ain't nobody out here. It's undefeated. Number 5. From the beginnings, we know what time it is. So anyway, OJ5, that was the number I was rocking for many years in my career. And basically what the OJ5 stand is, basically came with the concept. It was 5 attributes of myself. 5 qualities, the 5 extensions of myself: the hard work, the mentality, the discipline, the commitment, the heart. Right, and then I also said it's 4 players. It's 4 other players plus myself, and we make a team of 5 basketball. So that's what the whole concept of. That's why I related the OJ5. But that was the whole thing behind OJ5.
Okay.
So yeah,
5.
Breakout. So y'all won the championship, or you just had a monstrous year?
It was a monster because we were a newly promoted team. So normally a newly promoted
New kids on the block.
Right, coming from the 3rd division or maybe 4th division. But anyway, this team, they each year they build grounds and grounds and grounds to try to get to the high divisions. Okay. So anyway, when a newly promoted team, what you want to do is, the goal is to stay in the league. You're newly promoted and everything. To stay in the league is the goal. It's like winning the championship, staying in the league, because it's very hard when you're newly promoted team. You could get bounced back real quick. Bounce back to the old the division you came from. So staying in the league was the goal, and then obviously anything else is the cherry on top. So I had my shout out to my man John Merchant, good guy, real good people. That's my boy. You know what I mean? Same cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? Me and him didn't understand the whole idea. Like, when the club, like, yo, we trying to go playoffs. Like, what y'all on? Like, this the season? We trying to do this, that, this, and the third. And everybody like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, very cautious. No, we just want to stay in the league. We just want to stay in the league. Not even thinking about playoffs. So we had that fuel and that hunger.
To change the mentality.
Right, like, nah, they ain't gonna be like that. But anyway, you know, that year I had like the statistics. I got the film is crazy. I think I had 20 double games, and then we had like maybe 5 games where I had like 20 points and like 20 rebounds. And it's not joking. It's the footage there on YouTube. So. And I ended up, and we were newly promoted, so I think we finished 13 out of maybe 18 teams or something like that. I mean, it was a good run. We was up in the top position for a long time, but then again, like I said, we just the culture was more, all right, look at it, we just trying to play it safe, anything, you know, play it safe. But anyway, what you tell me a situation where you have a player win the MVP of the league on a team that finished 13th.
Yeah, that's big there. Because I was just about to say MVP.
So you got a lot of notoriety around the leagues on that one.
Around that league.
Okay, so people wanted you after that.
So it was like basically A2. So it was A2 silver. Yeah, A2 gold. It was Serie A, the first division in Italy. A2 gold, and A2 silver. We were A2 silver. The third highest year. It was the third. I was in the 3rd division, but the 3rd division was quality. You know, let's not get caught. Oh man, he in a bum league. No, the 3rd division had, you know, you only could have about 2 Americans. So basically, a lot of weight was on the Americans, but there's quality Americans that played in that league. You know what I mean? If we're talking about, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if many of y'all know Mike James. Mike James is the all-time EuroLeague leading scorer in the history. Now, Mike James' path, he played in some he started his career in like 2nd division and so forth, and worked his way up. So you know, those we can't take that for granted and take that like, oh, he played the 2nd division, he was this, it was the wash and whatnot. You still had to put in that work. It still was a grind in itself to be able to stand out and from that situation, even though you might didn't ask for that, so you still put in the work and still climb out and go to the high divisions. So yeah, I mean, obviously it was a lot of notoriety at the time. I had a new agent, an Italian agent, and so forth at the time and so forth. And you know, after the season was over, they combined the 2nd division and 3rd division in one.
Yeah.
So it was like, we talking about now 20-something teams. But for me, the goal was still playing the top first divisions. Now, obviously, I go back a little bit. The 4th division, Slovenia, it was the 1st division. It was my first time playing in a noteworthy league. That's because in Slovenia the basketball is big. They got teams like Uni Olympia and Kirka. They used to play in EuroLeague. Okay. But because of the recession that hit in Europe, that it changed everything. The money wasn't the same. So a lot of times, if you ain't basically the top countries normally get the best players because you know they got the most money. So a lot of times when your country or you know y'all don't have that type of money, a lot of the big time players don't go. So the league sort of watered down, even though you have that tradition, that history. So it wasn't, when I went there, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? So moving forward, so yeah, I ended up going. So I did. Obviously, I was trying to I still had the ambition and drive to play in the first divisions, right? So obviously, my agent at the time, I'm like, yo, after the season I had, MVP and everything, you be thinking, okay, well,
can I at least get a tryout for the damn first?
I'm like Serie A, and then you know the excuses start coming through. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I did all this and that in the 3rd. You know, I did it with purpose and so forth. And you tell me not one team, not no team wasn't interested, not one. Wow. So it was, again, more disappointment.
A breakout, but still some disappointment.
MVP and everything. Still, no hits from no first division, right?
You're getting paid to play.
Yeah, I'm doing what I love to do. And mind you now, all these times I've been playing, they got me playing at the 5 position, okay? So that's one thing I gotta tell you. It's a little bit tough because I'm 6'6". That's guard. That's Michael Jordan height. That's Kobe Bryant height, right? That's a guard. So obviously, I ain't never see myself as a big man. I worked on my game to be of a guard, but these clubs, they wanted to bring me as they wanted to bring me as a big because they saw my game more as a big rather than the guard instead of this and that. So what I ended up started doing is I said, all right, listen, y'all might try to put that label on me as the big and the center and whatnot. I'm not. I play bigger than what I am, but I'm not a guard. So I'm gonna take a disadvantage or this perception y'all have and turn it and change it into something that could work for me. So I said, all right, y'all play me in this position, cool. I'm gonna work as a guard from the 5 position. So I started changing. I said I'm gonna change. The game started changing and whatnot. I'm gonna work like a guard from the 5 position. I'm gonna use my quickness, use my agility, use my skill sets to go ahead and play against these more slower big men I'm playing against. Right? Stretch the floor, do different things, work the pick and roll, but I'm quicker in that pick and roll. I can make decisions. I can do more than the atypical big man, right? So that meant I had to get stronger as well because I'm playing against some big dudes, you know what I mean? So obviously they're going to look at me and say, all right, that's lightweight. We could post them up. We go into posting them and so forth. So I had to adjust my game and mentality and understand, all right, well, I'm playing at this position. They might try to come at me, so I got to make sure I'm strong. So 5th year now, going into 6th year, 1st division, still trying to go to go to more of a 1st division where there's the credible, where they're known for. There's no excuse, none. So I ended up needing to switch agents as well because I'm like, okay, you know what? At the end of the day, there's nothing against you. You say this is as far as you can go. This is the reach you have. This is the longest reach you have, right? That's what you're telling me. You can't do nothing more. This is all you got. Not mad at you, but this is just where we have to part ways because I'm on a mission. You know what I mean? It's nothing against you, but you can't do it.
Business.
Yeah.
It's business.
So I ended up getting with another agent and so forth. And it's common. You're going to have situations like that. There's some people that's been blessed to keep the same agent, but it's a business. So people have they have their thoughts about what they feel you can do. And sometimes your thoughts and their thoughts are not aligned, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, they might say, agents will say you shouldn't this and all that. Look at you eating anyway because you got multiple people, you got multiple clients, and so you good. You're gonna get your commission. I can't just be dependent on you because you want this or you feel like this is best because I was with this one agent. He's funny. He was saying no names were mentioned. He was like, man, you. Normally, because I ended up leaving them and going in the direction of my own, kind of being my own self agent and say, like, normally you gonna leave me. Most guys that leave me, this don't happen for them, this and that. How you going this and that? I'm like, well, it's nothing personal, but you obviously can't get you don't feel confident or you don't feel like you have the resource. You can't get me to where I want to get to. You gotta understand that. But you wanna be in your feelings and say this and that and try to put that insecurity, project your insecurity onto me. That's okay, but I'm on my mission. Success didn't start with you, nor will it end with you. As I always have said, success did not start with you, nor will it end with you. The work was already put before you. Before I mentioned, the work will continue after you. So basically, I had some good people in my corner, a family friend who played professional basketball and so forth, and he knew some people and had some resources and contacts. Courtney Johnson, shout out to you because you definitely gave perspective and you helped me and put me in many situations to get to those high levels. So my 6 years when I finally, playing in the top 1st divisions in Greece. I playing in Greece, the 1st division, the Greek league, and that was when I started playing against these household European names. These names, these Panulis, all these guys playing. Radulica, because you had in Greece the top teams, Panathinaikos, Olympiacos, and they play EuroLeague. So now I was playing the 1st division that had teams that was playing in the EuroLeague. Okay, it was again I played on a lot of newly promoted teams. The team I was playing on Lavia, they were a newly promoted team, but anyway, had a breakout year in that aspect. Shattered the backboard.
Okay.
So I ended up. it was crazy. I shot it. Didn't like when I dunked on it. It like snapped into small pieces, but it was still intact. And I got like on the social media where I signed the backboard and stuff like that and things like that. I took a picture with it though, but that was dope in itself. So had a crazy dunk that year on one of the players, big time name Prentices, a big time small forward, like one of the best small forwards in Europe, in EuroLeague history. Okay. So you know what I'm saying, just
put them on the poster.
We had that moment. It was against them, so had a lot of standout moments. And then from there, after that was 6 years. So from that moment on, moving forward, I had a run of top first divisions. From that 6th, 7th, 8th year, 9th, going 10th, just top first.
What year are you in now? Because I know you said you just.
And how's the pay?
The pay, definitely. You can see the increase. It was,
no need for mommy and daddy to support me now.
Definitely, you had to go through. You had
grab your bags to get on spot.
Yeah. You had to go through it all, the humbling moments and so.
Through that timeline of your career, when did fatherhood? What year was this?
Fatherhood happened.
And like, how did that? I know when that happens for me and him, it was like that fuel. Every time you got discouraged, it was just like blue. Ain't no time to play. It was just like, how was that? And in terms of keeping that balance, where okay, I'm still a father, but I still got to make sure that I keep this going on because I'm not done yet,
right? And
I want to make sure I maximize my talent while I'm still here. But this fatherhood, this is different for me right now, and this is that first one.
Right. So
what year was that?
That was year 6. So year 6.
Right after the breakout year?
Right after the breakout
celebrating
year.
going on.
Before he didn't know how he was going to feed him.
Yeah.
He got that check, he said I can feed somebody else now.
Well, see,
P commercials, Ousjuice.
And it was crazy. It was in Greece. So Greece, great weather, great food.
Oh,
we talking about where I was staying, the team I was in Lavio in December. I went out in shirts, t-shirt, and shorts. I don't know how to act out here. Because many years the winters were brutal cold. You were in a big coat and try to stay warm. So year 6 was basically when we found out we would be having Zane, and so that was. So that was different. That was different because
they say when you have your first kids, that's when your balls drop. You start walking different.
Right. We had Zane, my firstborn Zane, first of his name. Love you, son. So I was going after the 6th year. I ended up going to the Russian league, the VTB. So the VTB is anybody know, y'all know how the VTB league, that's a tough league and stuff. It ain't no slouch league. You playing the Russian teams, and the Russian teams, a lot of these tall Russians at center position, you talking about 7 feet.
And they strong.
On a regular.
It's like you see in the movie.
Russian strong.
And I was playing, so the Russian league, in the Russian league you had 3 teams, 3 non-Russian teams. And the team I was on, Astana. They were in Kazakhstan. You remember, if y'all don't know where Kazakhstan is, that the movie Borat, that's where they filmed that. They filmed that in Kazakhstan. So I was in Astana, and there's a big Muslim community out there, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's Asian, majority, I didn't know, it was a lot of Asian. Majority is Asians and, Russians, you know what I mean? So, but that was pretty dope. That experience was dope. It was crazy, though, because Zane was being born in November. I asked the team, they flew me, I asked the team, they were kind enough to let me be there for the birth, and I was always present for all the births.
That's a blessing.
So I was there and I had to leave. So they gave me 7 days and I had to leave. So the family rejoined me later on and so forth. But it was a blessing right then and there to have my son, and then leave, but then they rejoined. So and then they came and lived with me. So that was quite the experience. And Asana, what was cool about that, I met a person, a filmer, and he made a documentary. He did a little documentary about me there about the Dean Islam and being a basketball player and so forth. It's on YouTube. It's pretty cool though. And he basically went to one of their mosques and he filmed and he was asking me questions, came in and so forth, asking me about the faith and so forth. But it was a very dope production. Okay. Shout out to him.
You have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. And it was great. And they had Zane was there. Not at the time my wife, but she was with me as well. My significant other was with me, and it was just a good family bond. And that year was amazing in itself too, because we for the years before, I don't think Astana qualified for the VTB playoffs, and we ended up making the playoffs that year. We ended up losing to the number one team, CSKA Moscow, and they stacked. But we did what we had to do. It was best of 3 series. They swept us though, but again, we were able to go back to the playoffs after many years of not going.
So let me ask you this. With all this hard work, this grueling hard work, how many more years you got left in you? He said,
Well,
they say Father Time is undefeated.
Well, honestly, I've been blessed and grateful to be able to now. I finished year 15 this past season, and now
full career
going into year 16 now. The team I just played with, Bullzac, we were in the second division, and the French second division is the best second division in Europe. Okay, they top heavy league, 20 teams, and we won the championship. They brought me there to win the championship. I had the conversation with the coach.
Did that Kawhi on their ass.
I like that one.
I actually got the jersey. Chelsea, Bullzac, got the last thing, got Krubally on the back.
Yeah.
5, you know what I mean?
Authentic up in here, baby.
Got that Juice 5.
Yeah.
Front Bullzac. So this is a special.
Okay.
This is a special jersey because this jersey was
Krubally
to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the club. The club.
Hang this one up in here,
The club basically 20 years. It was 20 years, and it was 20 years that the club been professional and never won a championship.
Wow.
So we end up we won the championship. History was made.
So wait, time out. They brung you there to help them win the championship, and that's their first championship with you.
Championship with me.
So he did the Kawhi. He did the Kawhi, baby. The Kawhi Leonard, baby.
So
okay.
So the
how did that make you feel?
Man, it was great.
Champagne flying, crying, and
great.
y'all. I know it was
great.
crazy.
At this point now, because I got to rewind, because the year before I won a championship.
Back to back.
So
but that was in a different league.
Different league. Okay. And this was a European championship.
So you start getting used to getting championships.
Yeah, that test,
wow.
that taste.
So obviously,
that taste.
Going back to Germany, so you got in this order. You got Euro League, Euro Cup, FIBA Champions League, and then FIBA Europe Cup. So we won the Europe Cup the previous year with Germany. And the crazy thing about that situation was I came onto that team as a replacement player. There's a lot of commonalities in my storytelling right now. It's a lot of so they brought me in and what was happening there was they brought me in a replacement. I understood what was coming or what was expected or what the situation was. But it was still tough because, mind you now, I was only there you only can have, in the German league, you can have about 6, 7 Americans, but only 6 are eligible. So I was, and in the FIBA Europe Cup competition, you could play all your Americans, you could play all your foreigners. So I was able to play, but then there was moments where in the BBL, the German league, I couldn't, there was like maybe 4 or 5 games where I didn't play, and that's hard. And mind you now, that was year 14. I'm 35 at the time, right? So I'm like a vet, you know what I'm saying? So when the older you get, it gets a little more tough. You practicing, and then you don't play. You need your rhythm, and that's crazy. So it was tough, and that takes a toll on your mental. But again, I had things that I've been through that made it feel like it was not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people being in that situation wouldn't have been able to handle it. They were like, nah, gotta get up out of here. Man. No, I'm done. Yeah.
Been on a team where I only played 5 minutes in the season. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying? I done played this many years, got this type of experience, and I'm in this type of situation, so I want a lot of people to go, but I also got to see the bigger picture. I have now at the time 3 kids. So I can't just, you know, and that going into that year, I had my third born, Cairo. You know what I'm saying? He was born in Cyprus, but he was born in Cyprus. We had the baby in Cyprus, and then you know, filled out the documentation. He had dual. All my kids had dual citizenship. They Dutch American. So at the end of the day, I couldn't do that to my kids because now at the time my oldest was going 7 on 8, Zane, and then I'm Amari for going on 5. So it's like at the end of the day, you gotta find some stability. It's bigger than you at this point. You can't, as much as you might, man, this is messed up and whatnot, because they started off in the Netherlands first because I had a situation where I ended up getting I had the season I had, and I'm going back a little bit. That was year 13. I was in Cyprus for this team, Kid of Nos. Great, crazy season. Unfortunately, it was an underachieving season because I didn't help this team. We had goals of winning championship. Did everything I could do within my abilities, but it wasn't enough. We fell short. We didn't win no cup. We didn't win no championship. We didn't win the league. So it was real tough. So I ended up the situation happened the way it happened. I ended up having to leave the agency because my agents, because they were. At this time, over the last few years, I've been trying to get to Japan. That market is big. It's great for big men. You know, they pay very well and so forth. But it's just
marketing.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get to the Asian market now because I'm realizing, man, look, Europe is taxing. It's like excuses. They don't want to give you. They don't want to pay you for what your value is. But they want you though. They would like you, this and that you experience, but we don't want to pay that top dollar for you. So I said, nah, I gotta go to the Asian league. But then it's all this type of excuse. So I ended up leaving them. So the new agent I was with, now my current agent, he ended up, you know, I joined him late. Most of the seasons already. I'm year 15 in here now, mind you now. But I'm getting without a team because of the situation developed with my previous agent. So now I'm behind the 8 ball. Most teams already have their roster. So I got to wait. So I'm back in the Netherlands again where, you know, everything is starting back again there with the family and so forth and just waiting. So, but the kids need to be in school at the time. So end up getting the kids in school. So then the agent I had me, he had me a situation in Israel. So I'm going to Israel. I ended up going to Israel, and it's crazy because before the whole situation now that's going on, it's been going on for years. The history, but if we know the history, but that situation, that year, what escalated the more current situation now. That week early in that week I came to Israel, trained, but we had like a pre-qualifications that we had to do in Bulgaria with the team. So I trained. We ended up going to Bulgaria. We ended up qualifying. We won the games we needed. We had to win 2 games to qualify to be in the FIBA Europe Cup group stage. And we did that. We come back that weekend, that Friday, that Saturday, that weekend, they find out that the, you know, situation is Hamas, such, Israel, escalated the whole situation. So it was surreal for me because I'm in Israel with Herzliya. We up north, not south. So we far away from the Gaza. So from my balcony, you can see rockets being shot from the Gaza side, and it's like it's just surreal. And you know the drill in Israel and just in general, you can imagine they have inside their apartments bunkers for situations. You know, you gotta lock yourself in, and they have these alerts. They got this app where you have the alert if something going on. So the club guy trying to tell us like, oh yeah, no, we in up north, everything gonna be good. I said, no, I got family. So from that night, you hear explosion. You hear explosion. So the Iron Dome was catching the rockets and whatnot, but just surreal from seeing that multiple rockets shooting up from that distance and getting intercepted. It was like that was enough for me. Like nah.
Yeah, nigga, this ain't like seeing a nigga shoot with a pistol, nigga.
Right, this bomb.
Goddamn rockets, war going on out there. I'm looking.
Right, I'm seeing this happening. So I just said, so I'm like, you know, the whole time I'm just thinking, you know, I got family, I got too much. I mean, it's bigger than it's bigger than basketball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, let me go back to the Netherlands where I need to be with the family. So you know, it's you can imagine the airport's panic, everything. It's pandemonium. So I managed to finally get home safely to the Netherlands, and because of what was happening one night and what Israel was doing, they slapped a sanction on Israel. They condemned what was going down, the world and the governments, and basically so for the sports was affected. So everybody was like, you know, they was like, all right, well, maybe you're going to come back. We got to figure out the situation, this and that. I'm like, come back. That ain't
I ain't coming back,
so
man.
like, we going to look at different options. I ain't coming back.
Well, I'll go play back in the lower tier,
Right,
nigga, before I go somewhere where it's war going on, bro.
I go start coaching again.
Boy, catching that bus.
Right. Because it was a 2 month. It was only for 2 months, basically. It was a tryout for 2 months. And if they liked me and so forth, I did what I didn't do, they'll sign me for the rest of the season. So it was just like that. So I was like, no. So mind you, the Israeli teams are playing in their competition, but because of what was happening, how the world saw what they were doing, and then they basically slapped a sanction on them. So all the Israeli teams were kind of banned from playing in the competitions. So that was enough in itself, because they were talking about maybe removing this team, and they playing FIBA Europe Cup, but they're going to be stationed. We will be stationed in Cyprus and so forth. But anyway, that was closed. So that's when fast forward. That's when I went to the German team, and then I was playing there. But again, I was there for replacement playing and so forth. And the problem was, again, playing. They were not getting a lot of. We did the FIBA Europe Cup, and then again there would be moments where you have maybe every 3 weeks or so forth, and then you have back-to-back BBL games, German domestic games, and I wasn't playing. And I was playing at first, but then guys that were injured came back, and then was part of the agreement. Hey, you can't really play. We got too many individuals, and between me and this other player, that they choose whether I would sit out or he would sit out. But it was me. So you had to be mentally tough in this situation. Again, and my kids now, they went from schools in the Netherlands to now Germany, a bilingual school in Germany, in the city where I was living. So it's like, do I feel some kind of way and uproot them again? That'd be another place. So that's a lot on itself. So I say I had to grind it out, and I'm glad I did, because of me grinding it out. Basically, in the end, I managed to win a championship. I managed to be there and help the team out, and help us and be pivotal in helping us to win that championship. So that was good in itself. And eventually, what started as me not playing in the domestic league, we started getting closer and closer with the experience and whatnot. And the coaching staff decided to play me more in the BBL games and then in the playoffs. So it's just timing is everything. Sometimes you got to stick. You got to stay with it. Stick it through.
Yeah, you ready to jump on to that? Your question? What? You talking about your goats and stuff?
We could do it like that. So
just to spice it up.
Yeah, nah. But
because I want to
before I say anything, like, subscribe, share, comment.
Definitely.
Thank you for the deep insight on the Europe side of basketball, because from the things that you told me, I've learned a lot, and it seems like they have more levels and tiers of basketball than
we do.
You know what I mean?
All we got is the G League.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's a whole pool. It's a lot of good basketball players that's forced to play at LA Fitness because it's not a tier 1, a tier 2, or tier 3. Whereas if you can hoop, you can hoop. It's just different levels, and
And what you got to understand too,
climb the
man,
ladder.
for young folks that are aspiring to hoop or have aspirations of playing at a professional level at the NBA, you see, we all started because that's what we see the NBA, but this man was able to, through the process, grind and all that, and still have a victorious career.
A successful
career basketball, to the point where he was able to market himself, commercials, all of that stuff, his own product.
He could have looked at it as NBA or nothing and got nothing. Like a lot of y'all.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is,
he knew that there was more options out here, and he kept fishing until he got his meal. And now he eating.
And if you don't
feel me?
Yeah.
But
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you have it. Go ahead.
You trying to get something in?
No, I just want to maybe
try. I'm sorry.
It just made me forget it that quick, bro.
It wasn't important, man.
It wasn't going there.
What? Okay. So real quick, it's no amount of it, but what are some of your favorite players? I'm gonna come up with a couple questions. What are some of your favorite players you enjoyed watching growing up? What, if there are, what are the players that you molded your game behind, that you looked up to, And you know, I gotta ask you your all-time top 5.
Okay, as you going to the top dog question.
Okay, so the last question basically kind of sums up the first one. So for my top 5, right?
Okay.
It's sort of generational, but you got Michael Jordan.
Okay, MJ.
I grew up watching Michael Jordan. We all did, you know what I'm saying? How he just inspired the game, how he made you stop everything you was doing or go watch him play. That excitement.
Yeah.
Jordan. That's what it's about. When MJ played, man, you could have dishes, you could have anything, man. I'm putting shit down and I'm about to watch this.
Shout out to Jordan. We'll see you soon.
Soon, baby.
And
we'll
then,
pull up.
You know, we go to the next, Kobe Bean.
R.I.P. Kobe Bean.
You know, that Mamba mentality, that breaking the game down even further into a science, and you know, having that type of discipline. People get caught up into they say he was arrogant.
Yeah, his attitude. You can't.
But that was just the love and the passion for it.
Yeah, look at him on his court.
So at the end of the day, yes, we might dissect that, but that's just intensity. That's just ferocity about how much you love this game. And people don't understand that because
people don't never like the best, bro.
He loved it to a certain degree that we can't understand.
To be the best or be the greatest, bro, you're not going to be liked along the path.
So that right there in itself was that, and then you have LeBron James. So it's just generational for me.
Go.
You got Jordan, then you got Kobe, then you got LeBron.
Nigga, please, not you, man. This nigga.
Go.
Stop, bro. You ruining the question.
So listen,
let that man finish talking.
So
about
LeBron definitely, you know, and we see what he's doing. He changed the outlook of sports from the longevity and his abilities, and we already know the abilities.
A couple more years.
But the longevity, just the duration, being able to still perform at a high level. At the age he's doing it right now, he just changed the game in itself.
Electrolyte shot in his knees.
Telling you, there's all the theories about what LeBron does, HGH, all this type of stuff.
Yeah, them super daggone foot pads in his shoes. I know that, boy.
We still waiting for that documentation to come out. You know what I'm saying? It's
whatever it is, they need to keep doing. They need to keep regenerating it back to the league.
So it just lets you know about the biggest thing for us athletes, the young athlete, how well you take care of yourself. How well the discipline to do it. They always say, man, you got all these dudes that got millions, but they can't replicate the same thing LeBron doing, because that takes discipline. Can you imagine if I got millions?
Discipline and dedication.
That's right. Can you imagine if I got $1 million? If they gave all of us right now, and how many people just gave people $1 million and said, can you do the same thing LeBron do? Half of us wouldn't do that. Half of us
look at your Marcus Russell in the
PJ,
NFL.
go out there and do something. You know what I mean?
But it's the same thing. You got
a lot of people get that check and all they do is they only go to the practice that they have to go to. They don't go in the gym and be shooting trying to get better. They made it already.
No, so they want the lifestyle. Yeah. Now that they made it, that's it. I got the check and all of that. But like I say,
so hold on.
He got 3. He got 2 more. He got 3.
Making sure.
So then we got also the next. That got put up there, you know, I mean, it might have to be.
And I understand, I know when folks say they top 5, it's your top 5 because you gotta understand,
it's a lot of
it's generational because a lot of people didn't see some of the other greats.
Mm-hmm. And
so it's no shade on nobody or nothing like that and all that. It's about who your top 5. Yeah. Not what's the best top 5, because everybody top 5 ain't the top 5, so my bad, you got 3.
Got 3. Now the other, you know, like, you got the big diesel in itself, but it ain't no bust behind that.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at what I'm like.
It's hard.
What I can maybe relate to. I mean, even though I played the 5 position, he's tough. But I'm like, I gotta. You know what I like? Giannis.
That's your top 5.
Giannis is like, he might.
I will agree, man. Your mentality is like, you may not, but in terms of that hard work and that drive, I can see you with that Giannis and all that.
And developing the game.
Yeah, developing and just coming up as a little skinny little kid, nobody, and just now look at me now.
But no, we not saying your favorite players. We saying your all-time, your top 5 players.
Or you could do it like, say, if you had to do a starting 5, you going to who you taking in the top 5?
No, we ain't even saying top 5.
Your top 5, who you going to play with? Your top 5, who you going to, if they get
different though.
My all top 5. And then, so we got
a top 5 team, and my top 5 all-time players is completely different. I might name 3 point guards in the
So,
top
so,
five.
yeah,
They may be your top 5 players.
Might be
So, yeah.
Iverson, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got
Okay. So
team full of guards and
for
Shaq.
for that one, then
Hold your hands up in the middle.
definitely got. So I got to put in that then the top 5. Then we say that because we get clarity more. Break it down. I got to put Diesel in there then. Big Diesel. So the Giannis is that's a different segue. I'll use that.
That's one of your favorite players.
He's your favorite
That's
player,
why I
but-
said, hold on, all time.
Top five, all
Giannis,
time.
don't be. Oh, I'm into somebody all the time. Nah, bro, nah.
So no, Big Diesel. You gotta get Big
You
Diesel.
coming though? You coming? Get another
Most
chip.
dominant- The most dominant big man of them all. You couldn't do nothing with it. Dude,
That's what I be trying to tell my son, man. He be laughing at talking about Shaq. I be like, bro, look,
Because-
you don't understand,
You
man.
have to jump on
Y'all
Shaq's
niggas don't
back.
understand with Shaq,
Because, you know, a lot of
bro.
people be out
Grown
talking.
man had to jump on his
A
back.
lot of people be out talking about Jokic, right? This generation, and no shade to because Jokic
Jokic's
is
a
dominating
beast,
at
too.
this moment right now.
Jokic a beast, but he couldn't handle
But
Shaq,
he-
bro.
he-
But
ain't no
if
shit.
the argument is, from a basketball standpoint, Jokic will make Shaq have to guard for sure.
Yeah, I was about to
But
say, yeah.
At the same time, too, you got to be able to guard. You got to be on the floor.
How's Jokic gonna make him guard him when he get 2 quick fouls in the first quarter?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to guard. Yeah, you
Like
gonna-
Kenyon Martin said, he
Yeah,
said,
stay
bro,
on
he
the
said
court.
they were drafting niggas just for Shaq. A team would get 3-4 big men just for Shaq,
hands
bro.
up and try
Just
to
to
hold-
foul and all of that,
maintain,
bro.
just
Where
hold
niggas were
it.
getting jobs because of this nigga, bro.
So Jokic,
You sorry and all that, but yo, you got 5 fuckers, we gotta play this nigga Shaq goddamn
Right.
2-3
So
times.
yeah, there was you couldn't guard Shaq. The only person that could guard Shaq was the free throw line.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I didn't say that, but Shaq was the most dominant big man ever of all time. So you couldn't do nothing with it. You know, at the end of the day, you could say
See,
this.
that's
You could,
generational.
it's just straight dominating. It ain't nothing to it. You can't guard him. It just power. And then he still had the skill set and nimbleness for his height and for his size to be able
What
to
we got, 4?
4. And then the 5th.
We already said Jordan. and
He
Kobe.
said Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq.
That's a good one.
So
See,
then-
the thing is, what mine would be, it's not flashy, but it's respectable, and you should already. I'm not him, but just
No.
the top 5, because that he would be my top 5.
I want to give him his 5. And then I got one big question, and then we're gonna close out.
All right, that's what's
So
up, though.
then the fifth spot we talking about just grace in itself.
It went into the
They
sunset.
need to put some respect on my man name.
Yeah, I'm telling you who put some
I'm
respect
telling
on.
you
I
who.
know. I'm gonna let him pick it. Then you should say who.
All right. No,
Yeah,
I
I'ma
don't
say-
think you know.
Well,
We saying 2 different people probably.
okay.
I'm trying to tell
You
you.
know, I love, Tim Duncan was.
Bam. Thank you.
Oh, that one. The
Yeah,
one.
that's what I was gonna say,
So
nigga. He ain't
the
the
fundamentals.
most fabulous and daggone shiny toy and all that.
All right,
but
who's
then
who's the best 6-foot player of all time?
No, I was about to say on AI. You got AI.
Thank you.
No,
AI was a beast,
Between
man.
those two, I was
he really
thinking right now
wasn't
between my two.
He really was.
Those between my 5th.
5'10".
Between my
AI
5th,
gave me-
AI and Tim Duncan are one of those in those slots because at the end of the day, there was never
It
a
ain't
score
gonna-
like AI.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
AI, I used to love him like, oh, he's 5'5", right? I met him in person, and he was like this taller than me, and I said, oh man, he that tall, and he did what he did in that League of Giants.
Yeah.
Bro was dropping 56 like
No,
every night.
that's why Kenny
But
Smith
what
said he's the best person under 6 feet that ever played the game.
Yeah,
Right,
facts.
but it was also like not you look at his game, but you wanted his swag. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Everything. He
He
changed the
league.
game.
He
He
changed
changed
the
the
league.
game,
The
bro.
dress code, all of that.
Cornrows had to stop.
We talking
No
about-
jury.
we talking about-
No
No
jeans.
jeans.
Hey, we talking about practice,
Yeah.
and it's not. And we get mad at people got mad at that, but it's true though because let's think about it. You gotta practice is one thing, but they don't pay you to practice. They pay you. You could be all time first. You could be first time all NBA practice, all NBA practice team, right? But then you don't show up in that game.
Ooh, trust me. Plus, we know a lot of people who great practice players.
Right. but then you don't show up in that game.
But when that game come on, you be like, yo.
So I'm just saying though, you do need you practice, you get that rhythm, but you got it's the game. They pay you for the games.
All right, hit us with the big question before we close out. You said you got
I'm
one.
gonna ask all of y'all. I'm gonna ask both of y'all this.
What?
Who's your GOAT?
Oh, my goat in my order.
No, I said
Goat.
one. It's only one
Jordan.
GOAT.
It's
Okay.
Jordan.
Blasphemy?
Huh?
Okay.
No. You know. I'm gonna give you my reason why. Let me give you the reason why. And it ain't gonna be because of the 6-0. How everybody saying all that. Only person in 1 year to win scoring title, defensive player of the year, MVP, and finals MVP in 1 year.
Okay. That's your opinion.
1 year. Not to mention all the other stuff.
Your GOAT.
And the mentality, of course.
I had this argument a lot of times, but I got LeBron. And it's more so.
I know I like that guy.
It's more so, you got the comparison between MJ and LeBron. But for LeBron, a non-scorer, they basically say a non-scorer. And okay, obviously because he managed to take care of his body and able to, a non-scorer to be the all-time lead scorer in points of all time, but a non-scorer to be able to play the game, he get everybody involved. Now you would love that, man. Take the goddamn last shot. Why ain't you taking the last shot? You know what I mean? You it makes you upset because you talking about you want to be in that comparison. You want to be. He didn't ask, but he put himself in that situation. You got Kobe and Jordan taking the shots no matter what, taking that responsibility, and we've seen aspects of him doing it, but he always defer. Because that's what, he's about that, playing the game the correct way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a point guard. Like I said, it's too different. You can't compare
So it's hard. So it's hard for you to say.
It's
hard for you to say that, man. You want, you want your GOAT deferring, your GOAT taking. So his accolades, he's done a lot, but at the same time too, for him to go on this 8 appearances in the finals, you know what I mean? Obviously, you got to win them, but to be able to go to that's extremely hard. Now Jordan did this.
Not only that. The team that has the best record ever had to go get another player to beat you.
Right, and you won. Yeah,
you beat the best team on paper
from 3-1.
Yeah,
never
to win the championship.
Never ever happened before.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. You know what the rebuttal ain't gonna be for the Jordan fans?
What, Draymond?
No, we never went to Game 7.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't take it that far, nigga.
That's because
Jordan.
That's because Jordan
don't go that far,
Houston
nigga.
was about to win 2 in a row.
Don't go that far, nigga.
You about to play baseball and wait till I can
we ain't going to no Game 7,
dissect
nigga.
Hakeem and Clyde get a little older.
Game over with.
Jordan smart.
Game 6.
Jordan was smart. He would have got swept by them Houston Rockets too.
Now that's the argument.
See, that's an argument debate. You never know,
Jordan
bro.
always, every championship he played in, he always won it. You know what I mean? He didn't. Now obviously he didn't.
And I would like to say the thing with LeBron, I give him that 10 years. But like I say, man, back then it was just the Bulls, the Celtics, the Toronto Dinosaurs, as they like to call them the Raptors, because they was daggone always folding to daggone LeBron. Nigga, that little Washington with Gilbert Arenas, them niggas wasn't no big boy teams, bro. So like I say, for him to get to the East and all that, yeah. Kobe was out there in the West getting martyred, bro.
No, for sure. I mean, look at
them teams over there in the West.
Well, I will say this:
LeBron can't control where
LeBron came in the league worth $90 million before he did a layup.
Of course.
And he proved everybody wrong.
He was everything he said he was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He exceeded expectations.
He did his thing plus.
But what's the main thing that separates?
And he had no daddy.
Was the mentality, man. It's like when we just that killer instinct. Yeah, do you always
It's all a personal opinion. That's a whole nother episode.
No, another episode. All I know is I see when the peers interview and they be like, folks fear Jordan and Kobe.
It was a pleasure having you on.
Yes,
we definitely gonna have you on again. Break down some more things.
We're gonna talk to him next time. It's gonna be about life after basketball, man.
Nah, but he still got some years left.
He just signed a 2-year contract, man.
Some years left.
He got a 2-year contract, bro. Nah, you about to go back over and get some more, man.
Yeah, we might have to get them passports
and fly
stamped over there.
I'm gonna get a game over there.
Get some stamps and go ahead and see Mr. Ousman in action.
That's right. You had the tickets ready for us, man. We'll take care of the rest. Yeah, definitely, man. But
any final words from you, Mr. Ousman?
Nah, man. At the end of the day, it's okay. I always said, and I say this: it's bigger than me. I'm blessed to have done what I've done, overcame the hurdles and the obstacles, still going through them because that's just life in itself, and still being able to be a representation and a testimony to the fact that hard work do pay off. The harder you work, the better the outcome. I mean, obviously, it's a journey. It's a patient sequence, and obviously, it's bigger than me. So anytime I'm able to be around anybody, the youngsters and so forth, I always try to tell them, look, it's bigger than me, so I'm willfully willing to share, not to share the bullshit and all that other stuff that don't benefit your life. I'm sharing you the authenticity, the authentic things that I had to go through or that I didn't have nobody telling me, that I had to learn myself. And at the end of the day, I always say, I pray that they get to where I am even better. It's bigger than me. It always has been.
For sure, man. Like I said, it's a pleasure, man, seeing this young man growing from a boy to a man to having his own children and married and all of that, man. I'm just very honored, man, to see the man that you've become, man, and I'm very proud and like I say, keep striving.
You for coming on the show
and setting that example, man. Make sure you let everybody know. Subscribe.
Tell them what the podcast is again.
Oh, all in on everything.
We going all in everything. This was the humble road, man. So if you can't get nothing up out of this, man, just know that you gotta just believe in yourself, believe in God, man, and just put in the work, man.
You ain't getting better, you getting worse.
And keep the positive over negative, because that's what he did. Catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Ain't nothing off limits.
Nothing.